Flaps.
Hello and welcome to this next stream in the Emerald Collective. You can call me Rep. I will not be your Master of Fear today. In fact, that will be our ever glorious Wayne Talbot, who I shall hand the reins over to in just one moment. But if you enjoy the stream tonight, do keep an eye out on our socials. There are other streams coming through. For example, on Tuesday, we will be back in Andromedus with GM Carrick's homebrew game, where passing through the back gate into Kazam's industrial district, our party encountered a number of corrupted dwarves, bald with emaciated bodies. Sounds like a very good Saturday night. Is this a foretelling us what the mind virus will do if left unchecked? Tune in, find out. Anything to add, Carrick, to this wonderful?
Yeah, I mean, where we ended the last session, they dropped down a ladder or something. I can't remember if it was a ladder or a really long staircase, and right into a room with a undead cleric and a gigantic bone dragon. So that's going to be entertaining. Okay, I hope you've not forgotten
Gigantic
about
Bone
that.
Dragon is my favourite Arc Enemy album. Wonderful stuff. Beyond that, we're keeping our Technomancer a little more rested for the rest of the week, but we would like to just flag in a couple of weeks, we will be partnering with our friends at Roll20 and start playing games for Roll20Con in aid of the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is a leading national non-profit organisation dedicated to preventing suicide and providing crisis intervention for LGBTQ young people under the age of 25. It offers 24/7 crisis support via phone, text and chat with trained counsellors, alongside resources, education, peer support programs and advocacy to foster accepting environments for LGBTQ youth. Our own GM, his own Master of Fear in his own way, is cooking up an original one-shot for Saturday 27th September this very year, which will be at 7:30 p.m. Irish time, called Haggany Aunt. I will leave the details of that here in our socials, so you should stay checked for that one. You can also find details of what things will go on in our Discord server. Discord server and social links are down below, and we should continue the conversations and puns. Sorry, they have to come with us as well. But I think for those of you who are watching regularly the stream, get yourself settled, get those fingers ready. Those who join us for the first time, we welcome you to this 10th level Daggerheart game. I don't know if anyone's done 10th level on stream yet, so I hope we're the first. If not, I'm saying we're the first, I'm calling it here. If you want to just watch, you can do, but if you want to influence the game, you can use channel points, Twitch bits, and subs to provide boons, healings, and even fear and hope. And with fear and hope mentioned, I think we should go back to our Master of Fear. Wayne Talbot, please take it away.
Cheers, Rep. Welcome, everyone, to episode 7 of our Daggerheart mini-series. Initially meant to be a 4-part mini-series, by the way. We're doing a great job there.
Welcome to the Emerald
Collective. So where we last left off with our colleague companions, as they travelled through the realm of the Dreamsphere, encountering all sorts of dangers and mysteries and insane energy ball creatures. They found out that through Lanafir connecting to some strange creature made of time energy, they discovered the history of the character of Silk, and discovered that he was once a sorcerer of great power that was present at the breaking of the glass heart, the shattering of the heart. The first sacrifice given to the heart in order to imbue it with ancient mystical curses in order for warlords to take control of it. He was the first to die, but he is now returned and is now asking for aid of the mishmash companions that were all thrown together into this weird and wonderful adventure. Paradox also learned more about his own past, discovering that he was created by the matron Thane, the evil sorceress who indeed killed Silt and took his soul and energized the crystal heart with it. Paradox was one of her creations, and his function is yet still unknown. They gathered at the foot of one of the many sections at the base of the Dreamsphere, and using Paradox's abilities, breached the sphere itself and entered inside. Upon entering the sphere, the group were imbued with immense power as arcane energies flowed through their bodies, increasing their abilities, powers, basically essentially going from level 4 to level 10 in one fell swoop as they step into the world of the Dreamsphere, as the landscape unfolds in front of them. they see a strange and alien land. Where they've come from was green, strange enough in itself, but green and beautiful, with rolling hills and large mountains and the floating city of Parliament. But within the Dreamsphere is a vast, unknown world. For those who have traveled there, rarely return, if at all. So now, stepping in, this group, for the first time, seeing this vast landscape roll out in front of them, large, purple-barked trees that stretch skyward. And as their eyes follow these trees skyward, they notice large, leather-winged creatures soaring through the sky. Strange, animalistic sounds croaking and gurgling through the underbrush. As they all look around and take all of this in, the energy rushing through their bodies. And they all look at each other in turn. And that is where you all realize in that moment that you are missing a party member. Upon stepping through into this realm, each of you in turn felt that energy rush through you. But Lanafir, as you fluttered in, the energy coursed through your veins. Flashing lights blinded your vision as you felt the air rush from your insectoid lungs, and you were pulled forward, like as if something grabbed you in the center of your body and started pulling, and your energies were twisted and squashed into one straight line of magical power, and you just feel yourself catapulting through arcane fields, your eyes blinded, as you just feel like that it's just something stretching you and pulling you to breaking point. And then suddenly there's a popping sound in your ears as you find yourself floating in a massive void. And as your eyes come into focus and the light dims, because it was blinding, so it's that whenever a flash of a camera goes off in your eyes and you see that kind of blinking into the bulb, and it's slowly but surely your eyes come into focus. As your insectoid eyes kind of swivel in their sockets, you see an endless array of star fields and gateways hovering in the sky. And you see these lines of energy as they float and kind of weave their way, countless, just endless amounts of these energy weaves streaming as you float. Your wings aren't even buzzing here, you're just floating.
Just floating, yeah, no gravity.
I need you to give me, let me see now, first roll of today's session. I want you to give me a perceive roll, please, in this moment.
Just want to say thanks to the resub, Zoe.
Yes, thank you so much. Very much appreciate it. So this is a perceive roll.
Yup.
Oh, that is not. See, it's been so long that I've forgotten. So perceive is instinct. Got it. Ew, that is a 19 with fear.
Okay, with fear. As the fear soaks through your mind here, Lanafir, please tell us who Lanafir is, who you are as a player, and introduce yourself to the viewers.
Well, hello. My name is Kat. I have and will be playing. Her full name is Lanafir Calidor Mirn Raminus. You can just call her Lan for short. The first, as far as we know. She is a wild-born fairy wizard under the School of Knowledge sort of subclass tree. And she is a diminutive fairy. She's about 2.5 feet tall. And she has this very long shaped body, much like a dragonfly, like with the long iridescent wings and the compound eyes that kind of have a glimmer to them in the light. And her carapace is this sort of like lavender kind of color. And in this moment, due to a mix of fearlessness, curiosity and recklessness, due to her reaching out in the previous episode to these balls of time energy. Well, now we find ourselves sort of being shunted through. She doesn't even know. This is her first time experiencing anything like this. And she is just floating and kind of twirling in this void of weaves of arcane energy and time. And it's scary, but it's exciting and it's thrilling. And I think she tries to kind of, there is that pull, that strain, but instead of trying to be rigid and fighting against it, she tries to relax and just let it pull without breaking.
So with a 19, it was with fear, so that means as the GM I get a fear to use
Yes.
for whatever I wish to use it for, and my fear numbers are increasing exponentially.
Indeed.
But I will say from this day, you succeed in reaching out. The kind of the well of fear that's swelling up inside your chest. You reach out and you kind of, your hand kind of gestures out towards the essences of energy that are flying around you, and you do recognize this as the same type of arcane energies that you experienced when you connected with this creature. You now find yourself floating in what seems to be a gateway of time, and with such a high roll, 19 is a high roll. Like, there's no, but it is with fear, but it is a success. And you start to gravitate towards the closest eddy of time and what looks like a gateway. As you're just doing a breaststroke. Just doing a breaststroke through the eddies of time. And you look down and you can see glimmers of instances and happenings throughout the history of the universe. And with a 19, what I want you to do here in this moment, I want you to roll a d6 for me, please.
Okay. I shall roll this in. That is a 5.
A 5. Dog. Not to put you on the spot, but I need a moment in Dog's history that had a small bit of trauma in it. Something that happened to him that was traumatic.
Oh, contract James gave him.
No, I don't. This is the one thing I had this prepared, and actually, it kind of, Lanafir reminds him a bit of this person. When Dog was a young street rat working for the Circle, he had a friend, his best friend. She was would go kind of on jobs with him that he was being sort of trained in it. She was very small and slender, so could get into tight spaces, was very good for burglaries, a pickpocket. Dog was being trained in kind of more as the muscle. She was the they were going to make a bit of a a team. But one day it was on a job. They were breaking into this. Breaking into a bank, and she was crawling through. There was these old tunnels underneath the bank, and she got wedged in one of these things, and she couldn't get out. And then the guards started coming. Alarms were raised, and despite Dog's protests, and he wasn't strong enough to pull her free in time, he had one hand on her ankle, and the other hand of his boss was on the back of his clothes, and he was dragged out, and they had to make a run for it, and the Circle left her down there.
Okay, so in this moment,
to die.
Lanafir, you feel like your connection to your party members now, as you've traveled.
Sorry, her name was Rain.
Right. And you are drawn towards this particular portal as you reach out with your senses. And because you rolled a 19, it's quite high. Because you rolled a 5, it ended up on Dog. Could have ended up on somebody else. And you are pulled towards this eddy of time as you look into this portal. Now, I will give you the option here yourself. What do you want to do in this moment? As you see this scene unfold, this moment of pain that has pulled you towards it, what do you want to do?
Fuck. I think as this is all unfolding in real time, but also very slowly for Lanafir, it's a very strange sensation being placed in a moment in time, being of an observer, but also being able to manipulate, move. I think I don't know how she would be able to do this, but I think she would try to go on the other end of this hole where Rain is, where she was left. I don't think she wants to make herself visible, but I think she's going to try and reach out telepathically to Rain, just so that she knows she's not alone in this moment.
Okay. Do you want to manifest in the moment, or do you want to send this message through the time portal? Telepathically.
Telepathically reach out in a moment.
Okay. So you reach out and you kind of push your consciousness into the moment. We are in this tunnel now. Dog, you are there. You were pulling on your friend, and there's panic. And that back, there's fear in the back of your neck, and you can just feel that tension. I need you to roll a perceive roll for me, please, in this moment.
Okay. Sheet. Yeah, dog does not know. I mean, I pretty much, assume she had died. They ran out there,
Yeah, but this is the moment
he
where
used-
you're pulling Rain. You're pulling Rain
Yeah,
in this moment.
but
The Rain is crying. You can hear the rush of the kind of the hammering of boots on cobble, and the splashing of underground water, and the shouts off in the distance as the guards are closing in. You have fellow circle members pulling on you, shouting, telling you need to move.
No.
So that was
Yeah,
a
9 with fear.
with fear.
Yeah, it's not long enough.
You are frantic in this moment. You're like there's tears welling. Your friend is begging you for you to help them, but then there is serenity in her face, and she just looks at you. And she tells you, "It's okay, Doug. Run. I'm going to be okay. Run." And that's the moment where you let go and you are pulled away, and you just see your friend's face, and that memory haunts you. As we flash back to the moment where you all step into the portal, through the portal, and notice that Lanafir is gone, Dog, you can't help but think of that moment. You don't know why. You're all looking around, Lanafir's not there. But for some reason, in the back of your mind, you see Rain's face flash before your eyes. That moment of her serenity, as she tells you to run. And then everyone else, you all notice that Lanafir is not with you. What are you all doing in that moment?
Bramble's immediately running back to the portal to see if he can see what might have happened to her.
The portal has sealed behind you.
We just still... Is it like a solid barrier, or are we now in a landscape?
It's a solid energy barrier. You're right on the cusp of it. So
He's just going to start wailing on it with the axe. Just
Bramble, let me try something. And then Paradox is going to raise his hand up to the barrier and try to touch it and see if he can reopen it.
Okay. In this moment, Paradox, I need you to just give me a spellcasting roll.
What does that use?
So you can just with your
Just roll a spell?
Yeah, just roll a spell. So your spellcast roll, your general spellcast roll is +3. So roll a d12. Roll your 2.
Could I add my key to chaos to this?
Yeah.
To make that a 30?
100%.
That's crit anyways. So
yeah, it's a crit. So you go to open up the portal again, and you find with ease that you can do it. And as where Ramble is hammering, he swings his blades, and it's upon the kind of the last swing, the portal just, and you see the world on the far side. You see the hollow as the kind of the portal opens. There's a rush of energy. The wind blows out, and that sweetness of the air that's now within the Dreamsphere rushes outwards towards the hollow, and you just see the fields that you came in from.
Ramble charges through, and he's just stood just aside, just looking around, trying to see if he can see where Lanafir's gone.
You're standing there, panicked, looking around. Lanafir, you are in the portal, and another eddy of time grabs your attention. You are pulled towards it. And you are looking down as you just feel this rush of emotion through time. As Ramble is standing at the gateway of the Dreamsphere, frantically looking for you, and you sense him, because your connection with Ramble it crosses time and space easily, because you have that strong connection, and you were brought over to this other eddy, and you can feel the currents now are starting to pick up as you look down into this kind of imagery. And Ramble, give me a moment in your history that Lanafir might or might not be aware of, but something from your past.
I think the thing of how he met his god is known about, but a day or so after he went missing, the village scouts rise up as they see a small figure headed towards the village. From a distance, it's just this red simian form, and no one can recognize it. As they limp closer, it's his parents who recognize the face has changed. This is not the face of the character of the young boy who went missing in the raid 2 nights ago. He left with brown fur. He left with a smooth, maybe handsome one-day face. This is a young child. But there is now a severe scarring that covers the one side. The jaw now juts out, and the red seems to almost have come out from there and gone all the way through the fur and the skin. He is let into the village, but his crossbows are aimed towards this creature. For red is a colour of the divine, and this is either an angel or a demon, and they do not know which he is at this time.
So Lanafir, you are there. Your mind is now projecting into these kind of imagery, and you see all of this unfold. You see Ramble. You recognize him straight away, even with the kind of the younger years. And this moment is now rushing through your mind, and you can feel the intense emotion in the moment, and also what's been projected through time by Ramble in his moment of frantic searching for you. What do you wish to do?
So just to confirm that I understand the scene correctly, so you have Ramble, and then in front of Ramble are his parents pointing.
His parents have weapons. They are not drawn. Guards of the village are very much bearing down on this creature, and they do not know what their reaction will be in this moment.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So no pressure or anything, but
No, I think because what has already happened has happened. There's nothing that Lanafir can do. I think she kind of half understands that, and there's also that fear of a positive action here might lead to a negative in the future. So I think, much like she did previously, I think she just tries to reach out telepathically to this Ramble in this moment with a message, with a feeling, kind of like a warm hug. And she says, "Have faith. You will bring so much good and grace into this world. I'm with you. Don't forget that."
I'll say Ramble meets the eyes of his parents at that moment, and they hadn't before.
And back at the gateway, as you stand between Horizon's Hollow and the Dreamsphere Ramble, you hear that same message echo in your mind, with Lanafir telling you that she is with you, and she is safe. And you can choose to do whatever you wish here in this moment, but there is a feeling of calmness in that message that seems to reassure you partially, but whatever way you want to interpret it, you can do that yourself.
I think it's sort of a paradox is looking at Ramble, who's quite flustered, quite well. There's you suddenly see him just that thing like he seems to look up and look outwards. Nods once, and then we should push on. There are things we need to be accomplishing. And he'll head back in through the portal and into the Dreamsphere.
Yeah, then
This
with
is one thing to note as well, Ramble. When you stepped back out into the hollow, the longer you spent out there, you felt that the energies that it imbued in your body, they were starting to drain slightly.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, Dazzling Cat, thanks for the raid.
Oh, thank you for the raid.
We have been raided. Nice. Was it Dazzling Cat?
Yes,
Dazzling
Dazzling
raid.
Cat.
Nice. Very, very cool. Welcome. We are playing Daggerheart. And you've become to it's a real character moment, so it's all emotional and shit.
Yeah,
so
it's Wayne playing with our emotions.
Wayne's making us
Welcome.
cry. So as Ramble steps back in, then sort of with a wave of his hand, Paradox is going to just like shut the gate he's open.
And then there's that rush of air again, and the kind of the dust kicks up, and this kind of weird bluish green grass that now sits at your feet kind of gets blown with the wind, and you can't help but follow the direction the wind is blowing, and you see again those winged creatures off in the distance, and the cawing, and that massive form miles away, adhered to the side of a building by the looks of it, like a massive dome, this huge two-headed monstrosity kind of like flailing out its arms wide, and you kind of like it kind of brings it into sharp relief the instant moment there and then.
Yeah.
In that moment, what are the rest of the group doing? I know Lanafir is doing Lanafir's thing, floating around time, but James, Dog, Paradox, Ramble. As Ramble steps back in, Paradox closes the gates behind him once more.
I guess I would have probably followed I probably would have followed Ramble a little bit just to see if he was okay. And obviously he stepped back out. So that would have just kind of caused concern for James. He would have waited at the edge there till he get back.
Okay.
Yeah, we would have snapped back into that moment from Dog, where he kind of had that vision. He sort of instinctively, Lanafir's missing. He's kind of still like he's half awake, from a dream where you're kind of still half dreaming, but he starts kind of like, he cups his hands to shout. He's like, Lanafir! And he's calling, and then he'll when Ramble comes back in, he's trying not to look, concerned. But he says, is any sign?
No.
Just need to have faith. We should push on.
I guess Lanafir's magic might have interfered with the portal. She might have ended up somewhere else in here.
Just a heads up, I will have used my rally die. My rally bar class feature at the start of this session.
Yes.
Nice.
So everyone has a D6 rally die.
There you go. Thank you for that. So yeah,
one
of the things bards can do in Daggerheart is at the start of the session they can use their rally die to give everyone an extra D6 to roll.
Nice. So. The Dog he'll quote
sorry to cut across you. It actually increases to a D8 at level 5, so it's a D8 now.
So yeah,
nice.
So as I've said at the start of this session, for anyone that's joined us a bit late, so the characters were level 4 before they entered the Dreamsphere, and because we're coming to the end of our Daggerheart campaign, after now 7 of the first initial 4 episodes, I decided to level everyone up to level 10, which is the max level in the game. So level 4 to level 10. So there's loads of new toys that everyone's getting used to now.
Yeah.
So there may be some. Hang on, let me just check that.
Yeah.
Bit. So that may happen. So just to make everyone aware. But everyone is now level 10.
Speaking of level up experiences, Dog quotes one of the experiences that I gave him upon leveling up, which is his favorite phrase, which is "I fucking hate magic."
Nice.
Which I hope to use to possibly try and resist some
I wouldn't let Lanafir hear you say that. She won't take it kindly.
He trusts in steel and his
She
own.
feels a sharp pain in her chest.
I'm sorry, he trusts in what? Does he not trust in metal?
metal.
Hey.
He trusts the metal. That's what he just said.
Meanwhile, Paradox, the embodiment of both steel and magic, just standing there conflicted. He's like, does he hate
Yeah.
me? Does he?
Well, your name is
A love-hate
fitting.
It is a
relationship.
Paradox, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
That is
actually just-
we never knew why he was called that.
So, in that moment,
It's
as
gone.
Dog is shouting and Ramble is telling everyone to have faith in that moment, your voice echoes out, Dog, and you hear a fluttering of leathery wings quite nearby, and something large kind of like takes to the sky from a nearby bush. And as it does, it clears, and its talons clear a kind of a large swath of shrubbery that seems to open up a pathway that you can see. And there is, like, where you're at, you're in kind of dense grassland, with kind of a lot of different flora and fauna around you, but it's not like you're not in a jungle area, you're not within a forest, you're kind of on the edge, right next to where the edge of the Dreamsphere is. And you can see that connection between the outer world and the inner world here now. But the world, and as you all take this in, it doesn't take a genius to understand that as you look out, it doesn't make sense at all, because in here seems much larger than what the Dreamsphere looked outside.
Yep.
So you are watching this like rolling landscape, and off in the distance, vast kind of golden mountains that are shimmering in the kind of in the sky. And the sky is like a strange kind of teal color, and it's all wrong. The palette is all off. It's weird, and your eyes eyes collectively take moments to adjust to this, as you all kind of look at each other and wonder, what is the next step here?
So that leathery winged thing, it didn't fly towards us.
No, it just took off. It just got
Okay.
it got startled by Dog shouting.
I was just going to say, as it tears through, Dog kind of, and there's a moment of silence, and Dog just says, "All right, everybody, stop shouting."
So, what are the group doing in this moment? Lanafir obviously is doing Lanafir things in the time vortex, but what are the four of you lads doing?
Can you describe that entity in the middle for us?
It's not necessarily, so this entity is far off in the distance. It's not like in the middle. There's no middle. It's just off in the distance. You see this huge dome. You're talking a good 30 miles away, but it is vast. And it is looming in the sky on the horizon as this huge kind of, and it's so far away, it's difficult to make a detail, but you can see the shape of it, and it's moving. So it's like it's a torso. You see from the waist up, you see this thing protruding from this dome. And it is a large, kind of black skeletal figure draped in rags. And it has large, spindly arms with huge pointed claws and two heads that are kind of bobbing back and forth, and a long neck that just seems wrong in every sense.
And is this thing alive? Is it moving, or is it like a statue?
It seems to be moving, and every now and
Jesus.
again you can hear, carrying on the wind, a cacophonous shriek that chills you all to your bones and to your circuits and all sorts of parts.
I guess that's where we should be going.
Can I try get to higher ground to scout out a route towards this?
Yeah, there's about maybe 40 feet away from you, off to your left, there is a clump of these large purple barked trees that look like warped redwoods. They're huge, vast, thick trunks, but they kind of twist out at weird angles, and then there's other sprouts of heads of leaves sticking out from them, but they have that form of a redwood where it's a massive trunk that is just protruding from the earth. There's about 30 to 40 feet away, off to your left, there's a section of those. And then the ground seems to then slope downwards. And if you are moving forward, you are looking over and down into what looks like a kind of a grassland that falls into a worn dirt road. But by paradox, if you want to go search and look,
it's more so to scout for like potential threats in the area. So
so Og is going to be leaving this all to Paradox. I think this is his, out in the wilderness. This is his.
That's his shtick, yeah. What check do you need me to get up the tree?
Well, if you're going to be going to the tree, I'm going to need you to give me an agility check.
Can I use a hope for that to use my? With expert tracker work here as I'm getting up to kind of scout.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
So I had a
yeah.
+4 to this.
Yep.
That's a 9 + 4 is 13 with hope.
13 with hope. So take the hope.
Yep.
And apologies, I forgot to do this at the start. So Paradox, as you're climbing up this tree, please introduce yourself as the player Carrick and tell me about Paradox as a character in this moment.
I am Carrick. I am the stream GM for Arcane Adventures in Andromedus, which we mentioned earlier. Tune in on Tuesday to check that out. I'm also a player in a myriad of games here on the EC. I play Paradox, who is a Clank ranger who seems to be literally the key to all of what's going on here. He's the guy who can open the way, which is ironic as he is a Wayfinder subclass. Paradox is a member of what was known as the Cavalcade, which was a group of kind of a. This was not hermit, the other one travels from place to place. The word nomadic tribe of people that traveled along Juk, which are large beetle-like creatures that kind of fertilized the land and kept it healthy. They were all killed, which has led to the land ending up in disarray as magic from the Dreamsphere is seemingly leaking out and infecting everything. So maybe whatever effect the Juk had was neutralizing that, seems. So yeah, that's what he's about. He's here for revenge and to fix the world.
So as this Clank climbs this tree with a relevant roll that makes you get up there, not as fast as you would like, but you manage to get up a certain kind of about 20 feet up. So you're right up, and you all watch as he kind of deftly jumps up, taking a bit longer than usual, but gets up this new type of tree that he's discovered. And you're now hanging off the side on a branch, looking out over this landscape. What you see is, as you look down, where you find that you've all come in here, there's a kind of a hill that goes down, and you hit this half dirt, half cobblestone, well-worn road. And from your vantage point, Paradox, you see that this road is lined on either side by short, squat, little stone statues of what look like kind of representations of people. All with different features and kind of facial features, and adorned with kind of, some have pointed ears at the side, some of them have horns that protrude from their head. They all have faces of different variations, be it humanoid, you see some Clank variants, you do see some kind of simians, goblin, inferni, all this type of stuff. All of the races of the world are represented here, and these stones are lining the entire road as far as the eye can see as they vanish off, twisting and turning through the landscape.
That would look hearth cursed.
You notice that so you notice that in the majority of them, they all seem to have some form of signification of blessing. Okay. So essentially, for anyone that's joining the stream, there is a race of people within this world that were descendants of the people that caused the glass heart, which was the central of the world, to be destroyed. They were cursed for all eternity, and all their ancestors bear their shame by having these different kind of protrusions or arcane symbols or engravings, or kind of like one particular character, Mikhail, what's his name again? Mikhail Bernatu, who was the head of the leader of the Blessed in the City of Parliament, was given a pair of concrete horns that protrude straight from his head and deep blue skin. But you see, seems to be representations of the Blessed throughout the entirety of these small squat stone statues. Think like no different to the stones that sit outside Newgrange in Ireland. They've got those Celtic swirls, and these have these beautiful designs, and they all seem to represent people of some sort, and they are in their hundreds and thousands as they line the entire road as it goes off in the distance. And off in the distance at the far end of that road, you see protruding from the landscape massive structures, white, glistening in the afternoon sun here, shimmering as the horizon has that glow and shimmer on it, and you see these buildings off in the distance. You can just make out the dots of people moving at the base of them.
He'll kind of pull out one of his throwing knives, jam it into the bark of the tree, and just slide down, just quick exit. And as he hits the ground, he'll be like, the road is lined with statues of blessed, from the looks of things. potentially the originals that were involved in the shattering, maybe. I also see buildings, huge buildings to the whatever direction it is, and they seem to have people in them moving. I didn't think the Dreamsphere would have a population of anything other than monsters, to be honest.
There's only one way to find out. Yeah. Put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Are
We
you-
should
are
have
you-
our nurse.
I'm gonna
You wanna
whip
hit
out the loot, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
just start playing some Mythralica early demos. A little bit of whiplash, or actually quiplash, given that he's good at stand up, and he'll just start walking, and he's gonna be strumming just to try and keep the spirits up.
James, there's one thing you've noticed or have yet to notice since you've been in here. You haven't seen it happen, but Silt is nowhere to be seen.
Can I try and reach out to him?
And forgive me as a GM, this is a big faux pas for GM, but I don't have my actual original notes with me. My other notebook is missing, so
That's all right.
we did reveal that Silt's real name in the last session.
It's Fenric.
Fenric. I knew it's Fenric,
Mhm.
but I can't remember his surname off the top of my head.
Oh
Oh, you're all blurbled.
You're all blurbled up there, Ben.
shit! I didn't write that.
Fenric.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I'll just reach. I'll reach out to Fenric.
So Fenric, I'll
In my
find other
mind.
notes, yes. So Fenric, you kind of reach out to Fenric and you kind of start focusing, and as you're strumming the kind of the electric lute guitar thing, as you're strumming it, your mind stretches out, and it's in that moment, Lanafir, you feel the essence of James push through the time eddy as he tries to reach out to Fenric. And you connect in that moment, James. You connect with Fenric as you feel his energies. And it's off in the general direction of where Paradox pointed towards where the village settlement is. But in that same moment, Lanafir, you feel James's essence, and you can't help but be pulled along this stream of time that is crackling with red energy. And you notice as you move along this energy of time, there is a moment where the previous stream that you saw for Dog all of a sudden connects with this one, and they intertwine with each other and move.
Oh, pretty.
And then another portal opens out. James,
Yeah.
are you willing? You don't have to if you feel
Yeah.
James wants to close this off. This is the agency I want everyone to have in this moment. You don't necessarily have to share these moments if you don't wish to. But if Lanafir does see a moment in James's past, what
Yeah, I
does
think so.
Lanafir say?
There's their first. So when they kicked out their other loot player, Dave Rustson, there was a moment at Mythralica's first gig, when Dave Ruststain showed up with his new band Mega Breath, and there was a big mass. If you can imagine the Anchorman, this is sort of less dramatic and more comedic. So I felt like I had to lower the tone a little bit.
Yeah.
If you can imagine like the battle between the newscasters, the newscasters at Anchorman, there was a literal battle of the bands, and unfortunately, his bass player Biff Burton was killed by Dave Ruststain. And he was so there is a moment there, so I like to meld comedy with tragedy, and
So these are like Swedish black metal bands.
bro, it's crazy. There is.
How did he hit him with a carriage? That's the bit.
Nobody didn't, so I'm not going.
Where did you get a
I
spear?
decided to
Where
not.
did you get a try?
So do you know what?
Yeah.
So I'll keep going. So what happened was, you've got sort of Dave Rustain. There's this kind of battle going on, but without getting into too much detail, the moment you see is James sort of lying over Biff, and Biff is like just sort of looking at him, and he's like, James is just saying, like, I can't. If you die, Mithralica dies. And Biff is just like, no, you gotta keep going. So you've got the whole new album ready to go. And James is like, I don't know. And he holds him, and then he feels Biff breathe out his last breath.
And Lanafir, you notice that there seems to be a very melodic metal riff, sad soundtrack at the back of all of this, as it plays through the time stream. Think Eric Draven playing on top of the building.
Hell yeah.
Where it's just
Hell
like, it's just all that, but very sad. But you feel that kind of intense emotion from James, that is loss, which is not something you could even be used to at this point with James, because James can be guarded at times.
He buries that very deep.
Very deep.
Yeah.
So you feel that this is a very personal moment, and you can choose what to do in that moment.
I think for a moment she just watches and she lets the moment go on as it happened, as it was intended to happen. And then once Biff kind of passes, he takes that final breath, I think, as she did previously, I think Lanafir will telepathically reach out to James in this moment. It's like, Mithralica is more than just an idea. It's more than just music. You have to continue. It's power. It's inspiration. You are going to touch so many hearts and minds. You can do this. Keep strumming. Ride the lightning.
James, here it is.
Yeah.
So
In that moment.
In that moment, James just feels that at the back of his mind, and it allows you to kind of hold your brother in metal, and then allow his passing in that moment, but then take that anger and pain and loss. And the following album, as everyone knows, Mithralica's story, soars, and it's that bolster of that energy and that message that you had, that you believed to be from Biff, but essentially was from Lanafir, as Lanafir felt your pain through the time stream. And as you reach out to Fenric, there is a connection, and you hear his gruff voice, and you are also in the same time reaching out to somebody else, that person you have a connection with, and for some reason there's that memory flashes through your mind, and that message of continuing to go on and ride the lightning. And you connect with Fenric in that moment as you hear his gruff voice. He's like, I am seemingly catapulted forward, further into the Dreamsphere. I am quite close to the lodge. Can you see the dome in the distance with that monstrosity atop it?
Yeah.
I will wait for you there, but be cautious. There is much evil between here and where you are now.
Okay. And as that happens and he kind of snaps out of it, James kind of looked to himself and he goes, it seems the memory remains. And he'll just start walking.
Lanafir, in the time stream, you see now all these connections. And having previously seen Paradox's creation, having seen a tragedy that involved Dog, having seen Ramble's return home after his ordeal, and having seen James go through so much pain, you feel these connections and you see the weave of time. And just off in the distance, where there's another kind of unconnected section, you see a small dot of energy growing larger and moving towards you. You see this form start to appear, and it's humanoid-ish, short, squat, large ears with tufts of fur on the end, like kind of goblin-esque, and its legs are crossed, its eyes are closed, and its hands are like this as it floats towards you. And you just gently see one eye open, And it kind of looks around. It's like, what are you doing here?
I can
We're
ask
gonna,
you the same question.
and at that moment, we're going to cut back to the guys. As the four of you have now made your way down onto this cobbled road, and you see these squat statues that seem to represent denizens of the sphere. That's what you surmise they might be. But you see them now in more greater detail, and they're intricately carved, each with a different visage, bearing no resemblance to each other, and they represent multiple races and creeds and cultures, all with their own kind of language scrawled into them. Some of them you recognize, some of them you don't. And they just seem to pave this way as it kind of just punctuates the landscape all around you, and the winding road leads off. You're walking on this road for about 40 minutes to an hour, and you start to come on the outskirts of larger fields that are more tended to, like farmland. There are crops growing here. You see off in the distance there is movement as you come upon what looks like an outskirts and a gateway, like a gate into a village. A large kind of not wooden. It looks like you think it's wood at first, but then you get closer and you realize everything here, all the fencing, all of the kind of the cordoned offs of where the crops are to your left and to your right, everything here is made of bone. Everything.
Are the bones big? Are they humanoid sized? Are they like whale sized? Or
They're pretty big, and I can ask all of you here in this moment to give me a perceive roll if you wish to kind of guess what type of bones or if they come from a particular creature.
sorry, I need to go over and do this manually. Sure.
17 with fear.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh god.
Where am I?
Yeah. 18 with fear.
Okay.
18 with fear.
Okay.
Oh no.
16 with fear.
Okay. Right.
We explode.
You all kind of eventually, you're looking at this going, they look like they've come from some creature, and this creature is vast. You're looking at large rib bones that are that have been taken out and carved and shaped. Paradox, there are some of these bones that you recognize as Zook bones, but they're varied. But the thing about this is that there's been a lot of care put into the construction of this place, and there's a lot of intricate carvings of arcane symbols that have been kind of etched into these, and they look like they've been tendered with care and love to construct all of these surroundings. As this gate now looms close, and you see these large gates that are closed and a huge kind of arch that stretches skyward, and you can see a large wall around it that has barricades and guard posts. As the four of you kind of walk through the dust of this pathway leading towards this town, and you see atop the center of the gate a large armored chitin armor, kind of like white and bleached, kind of overlapped chitin armor helm. As they look down, and you see these glowing yellow eyes pierce you, the four of you, and you hear in very common tongue somebody's like, "Who goes there? What is your business?"
My business is metal. I bring tea. I've traveled a long way for this. Put on a concert for you. Fring.
And you see some heads of guards turning and looking confused at each other, and kind of like you see the central figure again. So, have you come to trade?
Yeah, in a sense. I'm gonna play you some fucking badass metal music. Yeah. And in return, we'll get some, you can pay us some knowledge, or lore, or back catalog, whatever you want to call it.
You can give me a charm or a deceive roll in this moment if you wish.
Sure.
James.
Let's keep it nice and go with charm. So it's +3 on my present. So sorry, I'm going to the wrong thing. I'll give it in here. Just give me 1 second now.
There's no deception there. That is 100% what James. That's what he's here to do.
Yeah.
Bro,
Spread the word of silt, right?
That will be an 8 with fear. That's not good.
There is you kind of sense the skepticism from this guard folk as you hear weapons getting drawn from their sheaths.
Do you know what? I might add my rally die to that.
Go for it, yeah. Go for it.
Because that's a 10.
Can I
10.
add a prayer die to that as well?
You can indeed. Go for it.
Added 4 to that.
Out of 4, so 14 with fear.
14. There was a bit of confusion at first as your demeanor and bravado kind of is something new in these parts. And you get a sense that these people are not used to rock stars. And it's not that they're backwards, it's not, but this is the Dreamsphere. So it's a case of this is new. You guys are new. You're not something that is seen on a day-to-day basis.
Untapped territory.
Yeah. So
bang out a riff and it'll be this
bad breath on here, yeah.
now.
New
It's
master.
the Scream Sphere. Wow!
So you hear this kind of skeptical murmuring, and then the head guard at the captain, see, not necessarily a captain, but the person asking the question is kind of like, "We will escort you into the town center." And you see him kind of disappear behind the barricade, and then you hear a kind of like movement of steps, and then the gates slowly but surely get pulled open, and you see that individual figure steps out, flanked by 2 more guards, as the gates continue to open slowly but surely.
These are all farmers, are they?
No, these are armed guards. These are
sorry, but it's primarily a community of farmers, is it?
Well, you saw farmlands and crops on the outskirts. You didn't see anywhere, but the guards, this main town, the main entrance to the town, which is just one entrance so far, is guarded well, and there's guards along the barricade and kind of along a parapet along the walls here.
I guess I'll just start strumming Enter Landman then. If there's a few farmers around, they might be into it.
Yeah. Cat, roll 1d4 for psychic damage.
Yeah. Go on, Paradox.
Wayne, dudes, the chitin that makes up this armor, as they get closer with Paradox, recognize that as Juk Shell.
Even from your rolls previously, you can sense that like the bones are everywhere here. Like it definitely looks like they're utilizing the bones of animals to build the town. The armor itself seems to be made from chitin and bones, but not necessarily all from Zook.
Okay.
There's a mixed bag, and the armor it's well crafted. Even just you can tell this from just walking past it. So Dog and Ramble, you pick up on this as well. A beautifully crafted armor. They all have like it is like, look, you look at parts of it, and along the backs of them you see like there's a literal spine there that's intricate and interwoven. There are back plates that are like shoulder blades from a creature that have been carved into and shaped, and they are fitting to each individual that's wearing this armor.
I was going to say, is it kind of uniform, or is it more like kind of, ramshackle, kind of like, post-apocalypse style, where they've all kind of got whatever they can.
These are beautifully crafted, and the more you look at it, the more you see the intricate detail that's been put into this.
Yeah.
Like you see kind of like there's inlay. Some of them have metals, depending on, and if anyone that wants to hear can give me a perceive roll looking at this in this moment.
Yep.
Can I spend a hope to use my Tinkerer experience on this?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
I was actually going to say, Wayne, could I use my security / bodyguard experience, spend the hope to see about basically what do these people's defensive capabilities look like how ready for what kind of threats are they dealing with? How well outfitted are they? Where is my thing? Sorry.
So James, we're doing a perceive roll here if you wish to kind of take in the armor and the guards and see how well fortified this town is or city is as you're being brought into the main gates.
This is not his bag, and given how shit we've been rolling, Wayne, I think you have enough fear already. So, I think I'll hold off with this roll until it's absolutely necessary.
Cool. Oh, there's another fear from Ramble. Thank you very much.
Sorry. 14 with hope.
16 with fear for Ramble.
19 with hope.
Grand. So Paradox, you kind of clock it, and then eventually, like Ramble, you do, and as you do, you Dog, you kind of notice that these are all uniform. They're literal uniforms, but they're crafted in a very similar way, using the same bones, the same kind of construction. But you also notice that depending on, you can garner from, particularly you, Paradox, you notice that certain ones, particularly the one that's now escorting you, their armor is inlaid with a kind of a glowing material that seems to hit the edges, and at their collar there is markings that go along kind of a teal color that runs along it, and then down kind of a lapel of bone. It all moves. It all seems to be extremely flexible as they move through it. Even their weaponry is like the kind of the pummel of their blades is like a beautifully crafted bone handle, and the blade itself, as it does have, it'd have the blade sheet out of its sheet, and he placed it in the sheet as he starts escorting you. But the blade itself is also bone, and it's sharpened and honed, and it's nearly translucent at points. It's so sharp.
It's almost similar to what Paradox uses with his own, because his short swords are made of bone. Now, maybe different in crafting, but like, it's the same idea.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Paradox, somewhere in back of Paradox's programming in his mind, this is where he got those ideas from to craft his weapon from bone. Because clearly you have a connection to this place.
With that roll then, so with that high of an instinct roll, like, can I also get like garner a vibe off these people, like as if are they like surprised to see us, or is this like people come often enough?
They don't seem surprised. They seem very cautious. They're well guarded. They're well fortified. And as the four of you step into this town now, you're walking along the main thoroughfare into this town, which seems to be quite large. And you realize as you start taking in the dwellings that start to kind of appear and crop up into the more deeper you go in, because on the outskirts it's guard posts, and there are stables that have large bipedal creatures that they seem to ride. These huge kind of two-legged creatures. Think of a tauntaun from Star Wars, but
I was thinking of a chocobo.
This thing is like a lizard, and it's got like wicked scales that is also covered in bone armor, and you see them being kind of tended to and saddled as you kind of step through the kind of the outskirts of the town. The deeper you get in, you see more and more people, and they are varied in race and color and all sorts. And it's you kind of flash back to when you were in Parliament, when you first stepped into that realm. But now you realize everyone here is blessed, every single one of them, and you are the anomaly. And you start to notice that people are starting to look at you, and they're kind of strange, like it's strange to see. And then you see whispers, and as you move through, as it's flanked by these guards, they're moving you up. The whole dwellings of these areas as well, the buildings, they're all made of bone. Vast creature forms have been now twisted and moved into dwellings. They're beautifully designed, functional, but also decorative. And it is a stunning sight to see. You're used to seeing dwellings in cities made of stone, made of brick, made of wood, made of thatch. Everything here is made of bone. Everything. You also notice that those stones that you saw, every dwelling has at least 3 or 4 of these stones in their, say, garden area. And they all bear resemblance. If you see somebody standing in their front area of their garden and you see their stones there, there's a striking resemblance. So you see it in Fearney. Their stones that are in their gardens are all in Fearney looking. They all have horns. They've all got decorative designs inlaid with different metals through the stones. And that look have a family resemblance. And it's and there's no fear here. You can sense that this is a community. This is a dwelling. These are people going about their day. And you are now walking through this, and you see people whisper and point because they can't help it, because you are an anomaly. Is there anything the group want to do in this moment as you were paraded through this town?
Kind of on my mind whether we should keep it secret where we came from or not.
Yeah, I don't know whether we should. Fuck it, James stupid. He's just stupid. He's just gonna walk up to whoever's in charge, and he's gonna go, "Hey, my name's James Headshield, and it's a story. We're kind of new here, and what's that big thing over there?" He'll point at there's a big thing that's doing
the creature.
The creature.
This supposed captain of the guard kind of looks at you, confused. He said, "I'm sorry. Did you say you were new here?"
Yeah, we're new here. We just arrived.
Arrived from where?
Outside. You got a wall? Is there a wall or something? Have you ever walked up? Have you ever gone like maybe like an hour that way and then just sort of hit something solid and can't get out? Well, we came from the other side of that. Weird, I know, right?
He stops in his tracks and kind of looks at the fellow guards. Are you telling me you came from the world's edge?
If that's what you call it, yeah. Are we in trouble?
You can't help but notice that he tries to compose himself, but very quickly you notice there is a panic on his eyes, and then he covers it up. I think we need to take you to Master Shen.
Sounds good to me. We brought you gifts, though. Came from the world's edge. Sorry, that was a bit macho, man.
Coffee and
Came from the world's edge. Yeah. So James will put. Do I have any gold? Let me just see, because
I'm sure
how
you
I
do.
find out my equipment, right?
Yeah, handles and stuff.
I'd say you've easily got a handful, or if not more than a
I
handful.
also have a bag, yeah. I'll whip out a handful of gold. Don't know if it's
James whips out a bag. I got a bag.
Yeah, no, I'm so good.
He's a rock star.
So I'll just go. Yeah. Gifts from the world's edge. Shit, it's in my head now. Yeah, gifts from the world's edge.
And he kind of
plop some gold in.
The captain will just gingerly take it, like, I think you need to hold on to that for now. And he kind of just gives it back to you, and then just does a kind of a rally symbol to his guards, and you see far behind you now. You hear and feel the kind of, as the gates are closed. You notice that there's two large beasts of burden pushing the gates closed. They're kind of on yokes, and the gates close, and you see all these large kind of as the gates close behind you, and you are then kind of, the captain gestures, kind of looking at all four of you, and gestures for you to follow him as he leads you now kind of at a bit more of a pace through the town, and the guards ahead of him are clearing the way of any people that may be there. And there is a throng of people. This is a bustling town. And again, you as you run through, you go from dwelling to dwelling. You then start to see kind of like marketplaces, market stalls. You run through an open square that has a large kind of what looks like a lizard fountain. So there's a huge bone-carved lizard that is in the center of this thing, that's kind of wrapped around a large column of stone, and it's kind of spouting water out of it. And it's like, it's again, as you rush past it, you can't help but notice the intricate craftsmanship here. As people are going about their day buying their wares, and there's a bit of a commotion as all of a sudden the guards kind of like hop, 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 running through the center of town, and they're escorting the four of you, and everyone sees you. Yeah, it's full on like entourage type situation. But
yeah, he's used to this.
You kind of hit. Yeah,
just one quick one. Does it cost a hope to use an experience?
Yes,
it does. Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to spend a hope and use broader perception, which is a new experience that I have now. Given James's interaction and exposure to silt and creatures that are sort of invisible to a lot of people, I have sort of chanced my arm and said that now he has maybe a little bit more of a perception for creatures and beings that are invisible to everyone else, and he's going to extend his perception out now and see if there's anything that is not visible to the naked eye that is sort of following them, watching them, or keeping an eye on them.
So this is an experience, so
Yeah.
you've crafted this yourself. I do still want you to give me a perceive roll on this.
Absolutely, yeah. Coming at you like Cleopatra. Here we go. So it's 2d12 plus, where's my perceive gone? It is there too. Here we go.
and then you're
Experimenting with
as well.
substances in
Yeah.
opened his third eye.
Here we go. Oh shit, that's plus 22. Forget that. It's 12 and 7, 19 plus 2, 21 with hope. I'll take that hope back.
You'd add the plus from your experience as well.
Oh, would I? 23
Yeah.
with hope. Sorry, thank you.
Up. So James, as you're rushing through, you kind of cast your eye around. You see all the kind of denizens of people, but you can't help but notice that there are spectral forms moving in and out of everywhere here. With that high of a roll,
Do they look lost?
sorry?
Do they look lost?
No, they just seem to be milling around, and they're kind of They're just there, but and they seem spectral and ethereal in their forms, and there is an arcane crackle off them as they kind of move about. They're not giving any, they don't give off any vibe of danger. They're not threatening in any way. But with that high roll, as you come up out of the marketplace, you hit the bottom of a hill, you run up kind of at an angle, you're turning around at your left as you move up through the top part of the town, which now slopes up to the side of a hill. And as you come up that, you notice coming across the rooftops to your right, you see a blur of red as it's like, and it's keeping up pace with you as it moves, and it's kind of moving on all fours quickly, and and again, you rolled really high. It seems to be simian in shape, but it's a bright crimson as it pushes along, and it is blurring. So there's like a trail of energy flickering off it.
Okay.
And again, with a 23, there's a vibe of danger. But that is keeping pace with you on your right as you are hop, as you come up to a large, again, bone structure that has a huge oval-shaped door, kind of an almond-shaped door from bottom to top, that is about 20 feet tall. A door on either side are huge stained glass windows that seem to kind of show different arcane schools. Outside it, you see a multitude of different individuals kind of moving around, and they've all got mantles and robes and stuff, and some of them have staffs. And the guards kind of push through, and you see one or two give a shout, but the captain ignores them, and he opens the kind of almond-shaped door, pushes and gestures for all of you to move in, and kind of quickly gestures you into the space.
Can I ask a quick question about the spectral forms that I saw? So, did they interact, or did it seem like they were aware with the stalls or the area that they were wandering around? So if there was a church or something like that, did they sort of seem to react to it, or does it seem like they can't see what's going on here, and they're just sort of wandering around what they, you know what I mean? So the majority of the populace can't see them. Does it seem to me like they can't see the majority of the populace and the village here, the town?
With, again, I'll go back to your roll. 23 is a high roll. Even though you were moving at speed, it seemed that they were very aware of their surroundings. Our
surroundings.
Your surroundings.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So they could see the world around them.
Okay. Cool.
And they were moving in and out of it, as if they were meant to be there. But the one thing I'll say, they were ethereal in form. They were kind of a bluish white. As they kind of moved in and out, very spectral.
Of them?
Yeah, there was a lot of them. They were everywhere, and they continued up around the area that you were walking through. They just seemed to be there.
Was there a number on the other people like Silt that were blown apart? Like, did Silt say that there was like 30 of them or hundreds of them when that instance took place? Could this possibly be them?
I will say that Lanafir would have told you what they saw in that moment, and they would have seen like a full kind of, I don't know what you call a group of wizards, but
a fireball.
A fireball of wizards. A conclave, but let's say a fireball because it sounds fun. A fireball of wizards, so it's definitely within a kind of like a small denizens area. So you're talking about 20 to 30 of those individuals, but you don't
that Lanafir saw.
The Lanafir saw, but you don't know how many souls were sacrificed to do what it had to do to show.
Okay, right. Okay. Good.
Did we not
establish?
Did we not establish a lot of them are used to power like the creation of paradox stuff?
No. So
was that minus reading something that I have?
Yeah. So essentially, if we go look at the lore of the world that we're in now, you would figure it out that the souls that were being divvied out into the resonance crystals that were imbuing people that had the burning eyes, they were the sacrifices. They were being utilized as sacrifices, but they were willing servants of the matron Thane, who was, from what you can tell, there is an essence in the Dreamsphere that is sending out these essences out into the world outside of the Dreamsphere in order to have an influence there and prepare for something, but you don't know what. You were sent in here to look for a Zook and also look for more information. Under that guidance from Branagh Cree, like go into the Dreamsphere, get the Zook. We need to repopulate the Horizons Hollow, and then look at what the Burning Eyes are doing. In that sense, and again, as you were moving at speed, James, if you wanted to kind of take a step back and stop and look at these people before you're ushered into this building,
I think I will.
I will, of course, allow that in no problem whatsoever.
So yeah, he'll sort of be last in, unless the guards, given that he spoke to them, they think he's up to something shady.
Well, I mean, I'll allow
stopping
you.
and-
You can have a split second before, because I'm not going to railroad you in this moment.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you can do, if you can get a moment here where you want to just take in the surroundings, and because they're
Yeah.
not aware that you're looking at what you're looking at, they think you're just looking at the world.
Yeah, I think he'll do that. Yeah, he'll just take in as much as he can then.
You stop just as everyone is starting to usher in. There's a jostling of people, of these wizards and sorcerers and magic users outside of this building, and you kind of get a chance to stop here, and you see a lot of people moving about in this space. I do need you to give me a roll here. I want you to give me a perceive roll, or a sense roll. It's the same thing. Or if you want to use it, an analyze roll as well, depending on what way you want to cover it.
They're all the same.
Cool.
I think he will go analyze this time because he's already perceived kind of what's going on. I think this is him soaking more in and sort of ruminating on it. So I think we'll do that. So I'll go back to my keep swiping left, and that's not where I need to go. Okay, slash or.
Wayne, the side note, if I question about that, I know obviously Dog's not seeing them, but the people that James has seen, are they blessed or are they non-blessed?
Well, I'll say James would have realized that they do seem to have different variations on this. There's
some are, yeah.
some aren't, but it depends. And so your roll there, you got an 11 with fear.
Yeah.
So I'll take the fear, thank you. Fair enough.
You don't need to take all of it. You don't have to.
Just take half of fear. See
Take
how you
half.
feel.
Take half.
You know, if you want, you can always
The
go back.
the aim is him to stockpile it, but not actually use it. He's trying to get as much as possible, not actually spend it.
As you stop
fear
at
spiral.
the foot of these steps, as these groups are kind of parting in front of you, take a moment to turn, and you look at these individuals, these spectral forms, and there is something ancient about their attire. And just to kind of go, not to metagame what Dog was asking or what Ben was asking, but the one thing you do notice about this, as the blessed are moving around you, the living are moving around you, the forms that you see here, none of them are blessed. None of them bear markings. None of them have the curse. They all seem to be non-afflicted. And you rolled low enough. You hit the DC of what it is, but you didn't get. You don't get any extra information here. But these essences seem to be in the moment here. They seem to be aware of the world. They're not interacting. They're not trying to influence anything. But in that moment, as you're looking, 2 or 3 of them start to turn their heads towards you, and they look confused.
They're not used to seeing rock stars in the afterlife. So.
I used to being seen as well. I get it.
And one of them and then another one starts to kind of move towards you and gesture, and it's at that moment you get ushered into the building. And as you step into this,
Any sign of the red thing though?
With that low of a roll from where you were, you couldn't see it.
Okay.
When you're aware it's there.
I've never seen a rock star. They wanted to get a poltergraph.
Jesus.
Oh man, I love you.
I shoot Dog in the face with my hand.
Yes.
I'm adding.
We're ending the session here, guys.
God.
Thank you. That's it.
I'm taking 2 fear for that.
Oh wow.
Thank you
Oh
very
wow.
much.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Two furious.
Now, so as you step in, you are brought into
Fast and the
this
Furious.
kind of like foyer area that leads into a large hall, and you see individuals milling about. and the captain runs over to another guard standing there, adorned similar to him, with kind of like an off-the-shoulder mantle and a small cape that goes to one side. And their helm is off, and it's down on the table. And they kind of, you see them conversing, and he just points to the back of the room and looks at the four of you, and then there's gestures. The guard then kind of beckons for the four of you to come over.
I'll walk up at double speed.
I will be bringing you to meet Master Shen Pale Eye momentarily, but we will escort you directly to him. But please, you are not used to our customs. You're not used to our general customs and the way we do things. Clearly, being from beyond the edge of the world.
Yeah. So what shouldn't we do?
Speak when spoken to, and touch nothing. And like he puts an emphasis when he says nothing, like there's a harshness to the word. And he hasn't raised his voice to you at any this point. There's a level of calm to him, and he's controlled himself to, like, even though he knows you're from the edge of the world, you're not from this realm. He seems to, like, there's a level of understanding and acceptance of this strange occurrence. And he then gestures for you to move on, but go ahead.
Just I'll like kind of lean into him and go, what's he called? Pale Eye.
You will see for yourself shortly.
Should I not look at has he got a bad eye, or?
You try not to stare.
Don't look at it, okay?
Don't stare.
Wayne, could I try to get a read on that nothing statement he made? Like, was that kind of like from a place of like disdain for the fact that we're outsiders, or was it just more of a, like, fear?
I think it's just more of a cautious thing. We just got raided. We just got raided.
On the radio. Thanks, Red Sage.
Hey. Red Sage, thank you very much. We are playing Daggerheart, so thank you very much. Welcome. You can give me a perceive roll if you wish, Paradox. No problem whatsoever.
Just want to read whether this guy's potentially a threat because of that. But yeah.
We are, as they say, in the danger zone.
22 with hope.
22 with hope. Just 1 second now. 22 with hope. There's an overly cautious kind of, like, he's very much saying, do not touch anything. And you get that it's a full-on warning of, if you do touch something bad might happen. It would be bad. Don't cross the streams, essentially. It would be bad.
I'll rock in if they're for us.
You're brought to the back of this space, and this is a high ceiling dome. it's a high ceiling dome, and touch everything, lick
everything.
And I noticed earlier on as well, Sponge Master said, "Well done on the Witch Bolt." Witch Bolt actually gave us permission to use the music in the stream.
It's awesome.
We will drop links to them later on.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh no, sorry. That's me. Sorry, that was my. I was just at the time.
Are you Sponge Master?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know.
Why would you know? Why would you
know that?
No. Anyway, so as you move through this space, you notice that's a huge dome ceiling, but there's no floors. It's just literally room after room after room off to the side, and the captain brings you to the far end of the room where there's a huge double door at the back that feeds into another corridor, and you're kind of not dragged, but you're rushed through, and you see kind of people turning and pointing, and again, you're used to this at this point, even though it's only been about 10 minutes. But it's a case of you get brought into this room, and the doors crash open, and they echo off another chamber that is just as big as the one you've just left, but it is one huge room, and it is filled along the floor and up the sides of the walls and into the ceiling with these huge hexagonal shaped areas that in the center are what look like black pools of water that are rippling with energy, and it looks like there are star fields that exist within them.
Okay, so like these are things we could step down into if we weren't careful.
These are vast, like they're huge pools. Okay. Like this room is massive, and you can see like it's like one huge giant rib cage of a ceiling of this gargantuan creature that has been turned into this room. the inside of it, and there's like large bone-shaped structures and pillars up along the wall.
That's really cool.
With arcane symbols engraved into them, and they are glowing with light, and you see the light emanating and reflecting off these black pools. And this walkway leads along the entire center, and there are walkways out to each of these pools, even up along the walls and up along the ceiling. You see small walkways with handrails beside them as they kind of teeter off into the distance. You can just barely make them out. And this long kind of pathway leads to the far end of the room, where you see kind of a raised dais. And sitting in the center of the dais, you see cross-legged a small creature with pointed ears, tufts of hair, his eyes closed, his hands like this, and as you are brought forward, his eye, one solitary eye opens up, and it kind of focuses on all of you. It's like, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, we came for a visit. Sorry.
That's where we're going to go to break.
Oh.
Thank you to all those who are rated in. Much appreciated. Thank you to those who are with us now. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 5 to 10, and we shall see just where all these portals lead. Every single one. We're going to each and every single one in turn. Be back. See you soon.
Hell yeah.
And welcome back in. Before we resume, I just want to say a thank you to It's a Map, who is running our Technomancer duties tonight. She's there in the background, cackling away at all the bad puns. Down below, there is a tip the Technomancer button, so we can continue to keep her with coffee and keep us on the streams. Artwork for the characters in this one, as you see them, is from Hero Forge, designed by the players themselves. The map of Horizons Hollow is from the Daggerheart core rules, but coloured by our very own Wayne, and populated by everyone at the table. Character sheets are using Demoplane with the Roll20 integration, and a special shout out to the music. As previously mentioned, this is by Witchbolt. Witchbolt is a dungeon synth, dungeon ambient artist, and you can check them out for yourselves on Instagram and YouTube at Witchbolt Music, or over on Bandcamp as Witchbolt1. There is even an itch.io site for them, and if you forget all that, the link is scrolling up in chat as we go through on this.
Right there.
Right there, indeed. If you ever want to catch up on a missed episode from the Emerald Collectives, or see one of our other splendid guest GMs, you will find a whole section over on our YouTube channel, Emerald Collective Podcast. Not just 5e, but Blades in the Dark, Daggerheart, Shadow Dark, and in audio format, an entire Call of Cthulhu campaign. No Silver Linings is a complete adventure created by friend of the channel, Mark Corrigan of Shonic Games, and is available also on drivethroughrpg.com right now. He was also the keeper for this campaign as we played on it. And if you prefer your audio adventures in podcast flavour, Mark Corrigan remains the GM for the Violet's Madness. This is now available in an audio format as the party cross the land of Custonia in an attempt to rid that world of the titular magical disease. If you missed the campaign previously, then episode 0 will bring you up to speed, and episode 21, I believe, comes out this Wednesday coming. But it is only available this Wednesday coming if you sign up for our Patreon on the paying tier in the Emerald Collection. That is a deliberate name. At the Emerald Collection, we allow you to receive every month original maps, magic items, and monsters for use in your own games, as well as early access to those podcast releases, discounts on select items at DriveThruRPG, discounts on commission for Map IRE, should you have commissions available, and discounts on commissions from Liz Shangavi, formerly Zorp's Art, who does all the artwork for our Patreon. You will even get a shout out on stream, and tonight's shout out goes to Fona, who is our long-standing community member, who you'll see piloting the lovable scales, who's slightly less lovable now, actually, as things are going through in our fortnightly Software Saga. We blame Dave for that. We want our lovable scales back.
I will accept all the blame for that. Nobody can go through fucking 2 years of a campaign and stay that happy and
I don't want to hear
confronted
it.
about it in person.
But anyway, with all that said, we will head back to our guest, Master of Fear, who's got far too much fear from us at this point. And with his Fear Factory turning over, please, Wayne, take it away.
Thank you very much, Rep. So, we return to the time stream. As Lanafir floats, as this entity moves towards you, you see this small goblinoid form with its kind of triangular shaped head, little kind of pointed chin, large tufty ears with fluff on the end, and its one eye opens up as it unfolds its legs now, and you see it kind of stretch out in the kind of time stream itself, just floating there, hands out, kind of wiggling its fingers towards you. You really should not be here. Are you lost?
What a question! I seem to have been swept by the currents of the arcane magic. I'm not sure. I am just swimming in the void.
You don't know where you are.
No.
You are in the stream of time, the chrono tunnels, as you wish. Are you a chronomancer in some way?
No, I am actually a natural historian.
Oh, a historian. That's
A bit of a
ironic.
chronomancer, I suppose. Yeah.
There's a deep irony there. What do you know where you came from? What time are you from? What land do you hail from, child?
Oh, those are many questions. Okay. Number 1, I come from Horizons Hollow. Number 2, we had entered the Dreamsphere. I have several other companions with me. They did not follow me into the arcane sea, the magic. Number 3, whether I'm lost or not is a bit of a I'm not certain. I'm just going with the flow.
It's at that point that he kind of opens his other eye, and you see this bulbous, milky-colored eyeball that has got like it has a pupil, but it's kind of like just kind of like a circle, but it's like a gold line in it, and it glistens as he kind of looks you over up and down. I believe I am about to meet your comrades shortly, if my sight is correct. And he kind of starts to scan and look and point at certain tunnels. I have foreseen part of it, but it is blurry. You say you're from Horizons Hollow. Yes, that is
Yes.
beyond the edge of the lands, beyond the edge of the world as we know.
Yes.
Yeah, you call it the Dreamsphere. We call it we call it the Somnium. Somnium. It's the land where the arcane runs wild and essentially shapes everything. And you entered here freely?
The circumstances that led us here are a bit complicated, but essentially our world is in great peril and is currently dying, and the answers might be within the Somnium.
Why does everyone always think the answers lie within the Somnium?
Have there been others?
He puts his head in his hands and he's just like, if I had a bone rattle for every time somebody entered into the Somnium thinking they found answers. And he kind of shakes his head and, look, child, I will assist you return to your relevant stream of time. And I believe in about an hour I am due to meet with your friends. I will try to arrange for you to arrive at the same time through the portals. There is a requirement of bravery on your part, for this may result in your atoms being scattered through time for all eternity, or else you'll just pop into existence. It's 50-50, really.
I'll take those odds.
50-50.
She would as well. God damn
it. Tell me, what is your name?
My name is Lanafir Calidor Mirn Raminus, but you can just call me Lanafir.
Indeed. Excellent. I am Master Shen Palai of the Bone Collective. I am one of the guardians of the black pools of the earth and time. Please. And he gestures out with his kind of like gnarled, clawed, three-fingered goblin hand. Now, goblins in the realm of Daggerheart, they're not these little... They kind of look kind of cute and cuddly in certain aspects. They've got fur in some places too. Shen, as he presents himself, is a gnarled, short, little individual, dressed in kind of wrappings and robes that kind of come up over his home. Think like an aged Jedi robe, but this one is kind of dark emerald, with a belt that is made entirely of bone and buckled at the center with a small animal skull. He has accoutrements that flick and float off where he's in the time stream, and you notice now that his essence here he's glowing with a faint outline of kind of a teal color, and he's giving off a general friendly vibe. He's not in any way threatening. He's offering help here in this moment. So you're not getting any bad vibes off this individual. He gives an outstretched hand to you, and you can sense the arcane energies pulsing off him. He's powerful. And again, you recognize the arcane symbols and the kind of the signings of his arcane signature is definitely that of time magic, chronomancy. As he kind of stretches out his hand to you, gesturing for you to move forward towards him.
Oh, you just said a lot of words that I don't quite understand yet, but I'm very eager to learn more. And she'll extend her little insectoid hand into his little goblin hand.
And he gingerly takes your hand, and there's a connection there. And then you see, as the connection happens, Lanafir, I want you to give me a sense roll, please. Thank you very much.
Interesting. Okay, that is a 16 with hope.
Okay. Your newfound chronomatic powers extend out as you touch Master Shen's hand. And you feel the connection of time. And it's like watching something on fast forward. There's like, you see elements of his existence, you see elements of the world that he's from, and it's moving really fast through your mind's eye. And then it catches up where you see his essence appear in the time stream, and he sees you, and you kind of meet him, and the conversation replays. And in turn, he sees part of you, and he sees your story, and he sees everything is kind of like, and he can see his one pale eye with that gold circle around his iris shimmer and flicker, and he's like, oh, you have had quite the adventure to get here, and you've happened upon quite a powerful source of chronomancy indeed. We have much to talk about, child. And he starts to kind of gingerly move you towards the portal that he came from. As you kind of start to be enveloped by it, you feel a sense of warmth as your body is kind of moved and pulled into it. It's like dipping yourself into a warm bath of marshmallows, basically, as you kind of sink into it. It's in that moment that the four of you have rocked up to this kind of dais where Master Shen is sitting cross-legged, and he opens that one eye, and he looks at all four of you, like, what are you doing here? You're early.
Early for what?
And as James says that, the portal in the center of the ceiling just goes, and you just see there's a kind of a representation of Master Shen falls out, and you see that small form of Lanafir as that representation of Master Shen dissipates and disappears, and Lanafir, you're just floating down from the ceiling into this space.
Epic as
Floating down.
fuck.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
This
Hey,
is the
Lanafir.
second most odd way she has entered.
She does a little twirl on her way down.
It's pretty cool.
Ramble will ready the shield for her to land on when she gets down.
Incoming!
Master do we know his name? Have we been told he's Master Shen?
You were told it was Master Shen Palai. Shen Palai.
Master Shen, my name is James Headshield. I'm kind of a big deal, but before we get started, do you know what this thing is? And he'll describe the red thing that he saw.
Oh.
Seemed to be following us, paying a lot of attention.
He still has one of his eyes closed, and he kind of gingerly stands up and pushes himself up to his very short 2.5 feet tall height. As he kind of stands there on the dais looking up at you all, he's like, "You're telling me you saw a red wraith running through the streets of the town?"
If that's what you call it, then yeah.
And
So
it's at that
bounding
moment
over the rooftops
he
and
kind
stuff.
of opens his other eye, and you see then the pale eye with that gold circle in the center, and it just shimmers, and you all can't help but realize something and notice something that you all remember. It's like it is a flash in all of your minds of all the times you saw those eyes go. But this one is whole, and the light is at the center of it, and it just flashes slightly, and it just gives off this faint arcane pulse that trickles off, and you see essences of energy kind of pulse from it, but there's no flame. And he's like, and he looks around, and he's kind of gesturing at the pools, and he clicks a finger, and he picks up a staff at the same time as he does this, and then gestures to a pool up there. And you watch as one of the other robed figures at the far end of the hall just literally leaps up and into the portal. You see them go in, and it's like, it will be dealt with.
Was it following us, or were you?
We get these visitors from time to time, and they can be an annoyance. Tell me, I have learned of you from your companion, Lanafir. I know each of your names in turn, but I do not know why you are here.
We're here to retrieve a duck to stop Well, essentially to stop our world from dying.
Is that all?
Well, ideally stop whatever it is that's killing the world as well, but that will...
And
is our
that
main
seems to
mission.
have to be connected with, what is her name? Thane, the sorceress Thane. I think that's her name.
The matron Thane.
That's
Yes.
the one.
Oh, fuck.
To use James's friend, the vile bitch of a sorceress who also happened to create me, apparently.
She is half of a problem, essentially. Tell me, what do you know of the Jewel Queen? The Dual
Nothing.
Queen.
Fuck.
As in 1 and 1, 2.
I assume it's the big fucking thing. And he points off in the rough general direction of where it was. He would know exactly.
Of the big fucking thing.
Yeah.
You have come from the edge of your world into the Somnium. This is the Somnium. This land, this vast existence and stretch of world is known as the Somnium. I am one of the keepers of the Black Pools, where the energies of the world of time and space form. And he kind of gestures to the room around you.
Don't go swimming again, Lanafir.
I make no promises.
We are part of the collective of the Bone Lords, who fight the Jewel Queen, the evil essence that sits at the heart of this realm. One such half of that duality is Matron Thane. The other is Matron Bloodstone.
Oh, that's ominous.
She sounds metal as fuck.
Do we know anything about her historically?
Lanafir, you would. Because you're the historian. Lanafir, you would know that Matron Bloodstone was the other head mage of the other army. So there was 2 armies vying for the control of the Glass Heart. And the 2 matrons at the head of the sorcerers of each side of those armies were trying to enchant the heart and curse it. Matron Thane was for one warlord, worked for one lord. Matron Bloodstone worked for the other. And essentially the 2 of them tried to pit themselves against each other in order to take control of it. Shen stands and kind of like elaborates on it slightly, given that you're aware of what happened with the shattering, but you're not aware of what happened in the Dreamsphere afterwards. When the Glass Heart shattered all those eons ago, the curse that was imbued upon the people was, of course, what you see here. And you notice that while Shen doesn't have any extremities outside, he taps his cane on his eye. That goes ding, 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 ding. So he's like, his eye is his curse. My curse was to see through all of time and space and not be able to do a damn thing about it. Great power and all that. But as you can see, more than 99.9% of our population all have some form of extremity or power imbued on them by the heart, or what's left of it. The curse for Thane and Bloodstone was much worse. Forced into one being of 2 minds, they exist at the center of this realm, and their armies continue to batter and fight for control. Myself, along with other Bone Lords, have fought them to a standstill, and we are at a stalemate. So, from what I can see through my time portals and what I can garner from what your friend Lanafir has told me, the Jewel Queens are stretching their influence beyond the Somnium and are trying to infect your world.
Why, we're here to take him out.
Yes, we'll be the tiebreaker.
Well, that is excellent news. Let us go about doing that right away. I'm just gonna...
Well, it's not every day you get to kill my, I guess, mother? I suppose.
What?
I mean, she made me, so...
Creator, it could be your mother if you perceive her that way.
I don't perceive her at all. I don't.
That it's not your
anything.
mother.
I don't know how plant biology works. You know, none of us really do. We just woke up one day.
Shen shuffles over the paradox and kind of just takes his staff and just kind of shoots it up and grabs the end of it and kind of taps your chassis with it and like dong dong dong. You're telling me Kane made you?
Yeah, and then as he does that, I suppose Paradox's chest plate will just split and slide open. Well, at the very least, she made this. And then the crystal's revealed.
As the crystal reveals, you notice that a couple of the pools around the room just start to swirl, and the star fields in them start to kind of like swish, and he's like, "Oh, fuck!"
Oh.
I suggest you put that
Put
away.
it back! Put it back!
Close your chest, bang!
Yep.
He starts banging on your chest. Close it! Close it!
Yep, it starts to shut. The matrix of leadership, as Ben says. I am Optimus Prime.
I think we need to move this out of this room now. He kind of starts shuffling and he's pushing Paradox kind of gingerly kind of out. And he kind of
You don't need
gestures
to
for the
push
rest
me,
of you
I'm
to follow.
He doesn't like it when you call him this.
I use he, him pronouns, actually.
Yeah.
I am a person.
This one.
As in, he is our companion. Please be
this
gentle with the
unit
cat.
stopped going
I
by
miss
this
my
unit
friend.
after a certain age.
And he brings you out, and you go out an exit actually that's off to the side of the building, not out the way you came in. It brings you off to the side, kind of to the left, and the main door is there, but he takes the left and he brings you out a smaller door, and you're stepping out into kind of a large atrium area that on the far side of it has a huge kind of curved balcony that is overlooking the far landscape. And as you all step out into this area, and Shen kind of shuffles forward, there is a small pot bubbling on a fire, and he starts unpacking a load of cups, and he takes the pot gingerly off and then starts pouring hot water into these cups of what seems to have some leaves and different things in them. And there's a kind of a spiced aroma hits your nostrils. And he's like, "Forgive me for being abrupt. It's just in my nature.
I mean, you see everything that can happen all at once, I can imagine.
It can give you a headache sometimes." And he kind of takes one of the teas for himself and gestures, help yourselves. And he shuffles over to the balcony and is just like sipping on the tea. He rests his staff down on kind of the edge of the balcony gingerly. And he kind of gestures out to the expanse of the realm around you.
Paradox picks one of the cups so he fits in, but he doesn't drink.
Okay. And he's like, as you can see, there is a lot in this realm that makes no sense. And just at that moment, as he gestures and says this, you see off in the distance like huge winged creatures flying through the air. You look down, you can see the expanse of these massive plains, and on them are these gargantuan creatures. Think of it as like welcome to Jurassic Park kind of moment, where you look out and you just see all of this stuff expanding out, and it's like it's not like anything you've seen in the Hollow. These are it's arcane kind of energy run rampant, as you see huge gargantuan creatures. You see small cuboid things with legs hopping back and forth, covered in eyes. You see all sorts of different accoutrements of like it's a full menagerie of different things. Another raid. Oh wow!
Hey,
Hey, awesome
thanks,
stuff, guys.
I feel like an Irish monastery with all these raids.
Oh, wow.
Got him.
Vikings in the chat.
Okay, welcome in, guys.
Thank you. We are playing
Welcome,
Daggerheart.
welcome.
You're more than welcome. So as you look across this kind of these large plains of existence, you still see in the far distance that huge dome with that jewel-headed figure poking out from the top of it. He said, "The Jewel Queen. This is her visage. It's not her. That is not what she is. That's not her right there. This is there to scare her subjects and to give them something to worship. She is a malformed, twisted creature, dwells deep within her castle. But this puppet is a perverse version of what she represents."
Is it dangerous?
Well, that thing, no. It just represents her. It's that symbol.
Great. Point us towards this bitch. I'm gonna
She
fuck her
dwells.
up.
She dwells within, but between here and there, you have a dangerous path to traverse, which I may be able to assist you getting past. Between here and there, you have the Dusk Fields, a scorched stretch of no man's land between ourselves and her armies. The stalemate ends on either side of these lands. You will run into fire elementals that scorch the very earth where nothing grows. When you get
Nothing grows.
Good
You
thing
get
I'm not
past that,
flammable.
you have the calcified fields of the Jewel Queen, where her
Jewel.
denizens and servants and slaves dwell. It is quite a journey.
No way you can just teleport us there.
One is not simply teleport into a
Because this sounds like at least 5 episodes worth.
I can partially transport you there, but there are other ways, tunnels, creatures of flight and burden that may transport you there quicker.
Yeah.
But I warn you,
Eagles.
my armies lay in wait upon the next attack at dawn. We have fought this battle for eons. And you have probably seen the tribute to our many fallen as you walk the path. You saw the honor road leading here. Each stone
Oh.
represents every soldier that has given their life in the battle against the Jewel Queen. And one day, a stone shall be erected that will remember me and any battle that I fought. Dave is furiously typing in chat about a joke. Oh, there we are.
If we're to do this, I
Alright.
believe our equipment may not be sufficient.
We can provide you with weaponry and such, but please understand, it will take great bravery to strike down this abomination. We do not have anyone seemingly outside of the Lords as powerful as you. You seem quite... I can sense the energies off you. Even you, who just has a really big sword, and he kind of gestures towards Dog.
The biggest.
He is very good with that sword. I have seen it.
It's the first time anyone's ever said that about him.
Yeah.
I can sense the unbridled energy of rage in you. You put that to good use.
I've seen him cut a fucking giant plant monster in half with that. It's
My notes are not here either. What was Sil's name again?
Fenric.
Henrik.
Yeah, so James will say, "I'm just here to find my friend Fenric, and see if there's any." I think you're muted. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, oh, you're
Oh,
back.
no, there you go. It's
Oh,
for
no,
some
it might
reason
have
the
just- it might
sound
have
cut
just
off for a
crackled for a
second.
Yeah.
I'm just here to find my friend Fenric. See if he reacts to that.
Fenric. Is he a...
Fenric.
Yeah, very braided orange beard, orange hair.
Is he a wizard?
He was one of the fire mages.
Forget it.
He was there during the
He was-
Sundering.
He was there at the 3,000 years ago, Gandalf.
Yes.
He wasn't... He was present at the...
Yes, he was. He's my friend. He talks to me.
He is here in the land. In
Yes.
the Somnium.
He said he went
yes.
ahead, and we have to follow him.
I mean,
He isn't. He isn't.
I also predate the Shattering, apparently. So
This is
that's
great news.
concerning.
This is great news. These powers are untold of in these lands. We have never had anything like this before. We've never had these powers at our disposal. Something from then. Something. And he gestures towards Paradox. You, a creation from that time. Your friend, a wizard, a sorcerer, a magic user who was present at the Shattering. These are connections. Connections through time. I can
Me,
utilize
big
these.
sword.
And his sword.
I mean, to
Don't
be
forget
honest,
the
looking
sword.
around, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of metal around here.
James looked very offended.
You could
Fuck.
bring metal to this land,
Ah,
both
Where
literally
is-
and figuratively.
is your friend is here in this realm now?
Yeah, he told me.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. He told me he went ahead and we to join him at that.
Well, I think he exists in a kind of a spiritual form?
We have many spiritual guidance here. We have guides who spirits from the past, who are guides for us through the future. They are connected through these portals, the black pools of the earth that we inhabit. These are connections. And if you have something from then, you could use that connection. I will be able to bring you straight there. I will be able to zone in on his essence and send you all through a portal.
Well, give me 1 second. I'll try and hit him up right now. Yeah. And
Does that mean we could?
James will just pull out the metal fingers and he'll just put them to his head in something completely ridiculous. He's just made up now, and he'll go, Fenric, my old friend Silt, where the fuck are you?
There's silence for a couple of minutes, and then you just hear very calmly, very low, I am currently hiding, staying low. I am in a dark dwelling, a pit of a place surrounded by vile creatures. Really, they smell terrible.
Sounds like a Mega Breath concert.
I do not know what that is, but I will take your word for it. I fear that it might take you some time to reach me.
We've met this guy who says he can speed us right there.
Where are you?
We're in a little village, just in 40 minutes.
Have you met a traveler? Have you met a wizard?
I forget his name. What's his name again?
Master Shen, pale
Master
eyes.
Shen. We've met this guy called Master Shen. He does shit with time. I don't know.
You've met a chronomancer.
That's the one. Yep. That's a good name for a song as well. Chronomancer.
That is great news. Here, I will try and... I do not wish to give away my position.
No, don't.
I will try and resonate my arcane signature.
Well, that's what he wants. Yeah, he said he could
Yes.
fire us right over to you.
Hopefully, I will try and stay hidden, but I will try and amplify my arcane signature to a level where you'll be able to find me. But I will stay hidden. Do hurry. They seem to be rallying here, readying themselves for some sort of movement. It is getting dangerous.
Let's fuck him up.
Please contact me before you travel. I will try to stay hidden.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Don't amplify your signature just yet. But when I need you to blow out those pyrotechnics. Then I'll tell you when. We'll keep it real short.
Okay. Excellent work. And
Right.
there's a palpable excitement in Fenric's voice. It's kind of, and it's definitely more human than you're used to hearing, say, from when he was Silt, when he tried to put on that demonic persona.
Yeah.
But he's definitely excited. There's an excitement there.
He's ready.
Okay. Sorry to lubricate my larynx after doing all the voices. Shen kind of is now excellent work. This is everything's falling into place. It's strange. I did not foresee this. This is blocked from my sight. It's strange. I must look into it. But we will prepare. You will travel sooner the better, because we do not want any wind of this. And it's at that moment there is the door that you entered in. You see that younger kind of attendee who went through the portal to go after the Red Wraith comes in, and they're holding what looks like a resonance crystal in their hand, and it is pulsating red. He's like, Master Shen, I stopped the creature. I trapped its crystal. Thankfully, it did not transmit. And he kind of hands the crystal over to Shen. And he kind of... Do any of you react when you see the crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell him that I have a fucking shitload of those in my fucking possession?
Okay, hang on. I just need to roll for Shane here. I'm going to roll for Shane. I'm going to use my die here.
Shit, are those things bad? I've got fucking loads of them.
Okay. So Shen kind of clocks that everyone kind of reacts when they see the crystal. It's like, this is not your first time seeing one of these, is it?
No.
No.
Pull out a clanky bag. Clink, clink, clink.
We've killed a few things.
You've encountered the servants of the Jewel Queen before.
Yeah, but
Yes.
outside.
Outside?
Yes.
Past
Well-
the edge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you need a map? I have a map.
This
I
is
mean,
what brought
I
us
can-
together.
I can open a gate and you can go look if you want.
Do not, under any circumstances, open a gate.
What should I do with these?
Well, and he kind of quickly goes over and starts rumbling through your bag. Oh, these are all dead. The resonance is gone from them. You've dispatched them, I take it.
Yes, dead
Yes.
metal.
These crystals, they are her resonance. She puts the souls of her servants in these things. They create creatures that inhabit the bodies of others.
Yeah, flaming eyes. Yeah.
I've got songs in some of them, though.
No, I mean like this, and then Paradox like glows his eye, but he doesn't. Obviously, doesn't flame. Kind of looks like this.
Yes. It's an unfortunate trait. One I know all too well. This is interesting. You're telling me that these creatures have been seen outside of Somnium.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a skeleton inside a clank. You guys thought somebody in a bar, right?
It seems like there's a lot of these sleeper agents out there.
There's a tiefling. Well, not tiefling. Sorry, Inferni.
Oh, this means she's trying to push her influence further. And she's succeeding if they're out there. Oh.
They're trying to unbalance Parliament or something. I don't even know if you know what that is. It's a big floating city. But,
I do not know. I have no idea. That word means nothing to me.
All right, so should we go now, or what should
no,
we
we
like?
need. We're gonna need better weapons.
I think you need to prepare. We will go post haste, but I think if you need weaponry, if you need anything we can give you, we will give you. And he kind of looks at you all in turn, expectancy, kind of rife, asking what each of you need in turn, if there's anything you want.
I mean, I could. You gotta like you pull out his rapier and his whip. You go, I'm gonna keep this one because it's like it's the reason I wrote my song Whiplash. But yeah, I mean, look, if you can add some magic to the whip or the fucking rapier, it'd be fucking great, you know? Yeah.
We can definitely assist with that. And he kind of gestures to the attendant that brought in the resonance crystal, and he kind of sends him off. And he's like, I will return. But before does anyone? And he kind of looks at everyone else. Like he looks at Ramble, he looks at Paradox, he looks at Dog, he looks at Lanafir.
I use short blades, and then he pulls out his two already bone short swords and a bow. Preferably something better than heavier hitting than this one, because it's a hunting bow.
Okay. Yes.
Ramble's basically just nodding, pointing to his axe, shield, and down to his armor.
Oh yeah, armor.
Yeah,
Armor as
similarly,
well.
just however much time we
Yeah.
have, whatever can be done, like to whether it's quicker to enchant them or I'll take bone armor if it's better. Dog's not really fussy about what he
Cool.
uses.
The attendant takes all of your suggestions and he runs off. You see him disappear off into the building and then off into another doorway. You're left now, like the Shen is kind of pacing back and forth, kind of mumbling to himself. He takes the resonance crystal and he kind of puts it over on the thing, and it's just sitting there, kind of humming to itself. A small bit of arcane energy kind of emanating off it, and he's sipping on his tea. And he's kind of pacing back and forth, mumbling himself, giving you all the moment here to yourselves if you want to interact or do anything you want.
I guess I'll just play music.
I'm
I'm gonna probably cook up a song called Shenna Said. And
I kind of want to know why the pools reacted like that. That's interesting. Might be something I could weaponize, against this thing. I can affect magic.
When Shen said he could, if we had something from that time, he could take us there, did he mean where the Dual Queen is now? Or back before take us to the time?
No, I mean, general rule of thumb is you don't want to go back in time and change things because it fucks everything, right? Isn't that like how the stories go?
Oh.
From my experience, yes. No.
Ramble is
Really
leaning in
depends.
to look at Lanafir now.
If we could stop her before the
exhilarating.
sundering.
I don't think there's.
The general rule is not to tamper with the weaves. You don't
Well,
want to create a ripple effect, understandably.
Are you suggesting we could turn back time? Surely not.
No, like, excuse the pun, but like,
Could we find a way?
Excuse the pun, but I really don't think we should make another paradox.
Yeah.
Take back those words. They hurt me.
No.
This is what we do. Sorry, you're right.
Someone goes to leave. You stay.
Shen, question for you.
So much fear getting racked
I
up.
think he's gone, isn't he? He's oh no!
Yeah, he's
pacing off.
It's like Facebook pages. 1 like equals 1 prayer. 1 pun equals 1 fear.
yeah. Pun of
So
fear.
Paradox is trying to get Shen's attention if he's just pacing around.
Yeah. Shen kind of stops.
Do
Yes.
you know why my presence in there was affecting the bulls?
Your very creation and your core is that of chronomancy. You
I'm a
essentially exist in this time, but you are a key to the moment in the past. You, from what I can sense, you are standing there in front of me, but I can see the ripples through time because of your existence.
So I'm like I'm a paradox. It's my name.
Do you see those big pools in there? The black
Yes.
waters. You are essentially one of those pools condensed and put into one of those crystals and put into a metal suit.
So what would happen if I went into one of the pools?
Well, you are protected. The suit protects you from what I can gather.
Huh.
You already stepped through here into this realm. So if anything bad was going to happen, it was going to happen then.
Okay.
Well,
And
would it be possible to use the paradox and the core for the Jewel Queen to go back to that moment in time and just undo?
To do what exactly?
Well,
Kill her
they
Kill her
failed
before she
once.
shatters.
Yeah,
She,
to undo the
Wouldn't
effects.
that remove
To
all of us?
It would
We've
create a
already
paradox
done-
because if we
But
go
I'm
back
saying
to do
a
that,
being
it
of that power and that much pain will not be thinking rationally. That's the point I'm trying to make.
yes, but if we go back to stop that from happening, the circumstances wouldn't have happened.
No, I'm not
to make
saying
us go
we
back to
go
stop it from
back. I'm
happening.
James is
saying
looking
that maybe
very
that's
confused
what
right
he
now.
is trying to do.
Listen.
Shen steps in.
I might still exist because I'm
Shen-
protected, but you guys are probably
Shen-
cease.
Shen
That's
steps in
not
and just
what
takes
I
his
said.
staff and just wraps it against Paradox's chest. He's like, right.
Ow! I still feel.
She will use you in order to undo anything that causes her destruction. That is the point of your existence, from what I can feel in your temporal energies.
But
You
does that
are
mean-
her fail-safe.
But does that mean I could potentially hurt her directly myself
Yes.
by not undoing it?
Yes. If she is able to crack you open like an egg and feed on the energies inside, she will become powerful enough to reverse the moment of her destruction. You are her backup plan.
Oh.
That's all I'm getting from this vibe, this whole thing.
So
And he kind of just gestures at you.
Oh.
Gently.
So I
Not
Paradox.
even the first plan.
rear
the backup.
guard, ranged weaponry.
That's
All
what I
right, so
do.
I'm look. If
Yeah.
we can explain things kind of plainly and simply without all this weird fucking
So-
existential time shit, just tell me. Can we go over there and fuck somebody up? Point me in the right direction. We'll go fuck them up.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can.
Thank you.
But I think you need to plan this out because you do not know what you're stepping into. We have diagrams of the general area, maps.
I love a good diagram.
Maps and general
I love maps.
positions of her units
So
and
many.
people, but they're ever changing. And our scouts can only do so much.
Okay, get me the maps. I can find a way through. It's what I specialize in.
Well,
but-
I mean, hold on. Let's try and figure out where Fenric is, and
Obviously.
I'll relate what Fenric told me about where he is. So hopefully he can get an idea as to where he is. It was quite vague though.
Yeah, Shen kind of it's like from the energies, like if he activates himself in a way that I can trace his arcane pattern, he will be unlike nothing that's there. Like there's nothing like him in that area, so he will stick out. He will be like a beacon of time.
Is there any way I could I don't know how this shit works. It's black magic to me, but can I hold your hands or some shit like that and talk to him so you can talk to him through me? Or
yes, let's try that. Let's try that.
So my right hand and your left to cross over, or what do we do?
No, we just touch each other in the hands.
Okay,
Just hands.
all right, there we go.
And he kind of grabs your, because he's like quite small and he's got smaller, like you see his
he's
narrow
Lanafir
bones.
size.
He's got a rake of rings on his fingers, and he kind of puts his hands, and he has a strong grip and calloused, and he's like he has a strong grip for something that he seems of advanced age, but he's powerful. And he kind of like, he's like, okay, and he closes his like milky eye, and he kind of stares at you with the other one. Right, let us focus on your friend.
Henrik. I've got my new friend Master Shen here. Hopefully we don't need to get you to do too much right now, but I don't understand any of this shit, so hopefully you guys can talk to each other through me.
And there's a pause again, and then you eventually just hear like coming back to you. I can hear you, and I can sense a presence with you for sure.
Yeah.
It's like there's something humming at the back of your voice. Yeah. And then you just like you say, Fenric, can you hear me?
Can you hear Fenric?
It's yes, it's a faint rasping kind of creaking noise. It's what kind of creature have you found?
It's Master Shen. Don't worry about him. Don't look him in the wrong eye.
Fenric, I am Master Shen, one of the Pale Eye. I am a Bone Lord. Can you hear me?
God, so many jokes.
And Fenric said, I can hear you, Master Shen, very, very quietly. It is an honor to meet a chronomantic individual such as yourself. Do you need me to activate my arcane resonance? Yes. Do it briefly so I can pinpoint you through your friend here. And then you just hear a kind of a low hum, and at the back of your mind, you feel like a kind of a bright kind of warmth kind of pulsate through your mind, James. It's like, yes, I see it now. Okay, turn it off. They'll see you. Turn it down. Very bright. You specialized in pyromantic energies. You like to burn a lot of things. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I can pinpoint you. Yes, I have what I need. Okay, I'm going to break the connection now.
Wait. Do you know where he is? Is he close?
He is. Do you remember the giant puppet creature I showed you?
The master of puppets.
He is.
Hell yeah.
He is in the vicinity of that creature.
Excellent.
And Shane kind of slowly takes his hands away, and you feel the connection break with Fenric once more. Shen is now kind of like, I know, I can pinpoint him. We must get you ready for your expedition. We must give you supplies. We must prepare you. Any armor, any weaponry, my attendees will find. I need to find the right pool that we're going to use to transport through. Ah, ah, ah. This is exciting. I did not expect it to go this way. Of all the timelines that you had to walk into, it's insane. And he kind of shuffles off back into the room of the black pools. What did the group want to do in this moment?
How long have we got?
Yeah.
Have we got
Well,
like minutes or hours before he's ready?
It's really your call what you want to do here. Like he's gone off to prepare. So
wait for the gear, which is probably going to take a while.
Wait for the gear, I suppose. Yeah. I guess. I'm trying to see if there's anything I can do again. I guess like before we go, I'll do another rally die thing.
okay.
I mean, we didn't lose any hope or
No.
no one's vulnerable, so none of my other abilities can do anything. So I guess I'm just gonna fuck it. I mean, I'm gonna rock out of there and go back to the top of the steps, and I'm just gonna give a fucking one-man concert.
Hell yeah.
So you're going? Are you going back out into the kind of town area,
Yeah.
or yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just-
Okay.
Just gonna give him a show.
Excellent. Good stuff. Does anyone else wants to do in this moment?
Oh man.
Well,
I feel like there's a right answer to this, and we all don't know what it is.
Well, Dog doesn't
Ramble's
want to do
gonna
much.
start-
I mean,
Go ahead, Ben.
no, I just mean Dog. He doesn't have anything magic to prepare. He doesn't really know what to expect, so he's just getting himself just mentally kind of battle ready. But I think he's gonna go back out into the town with James, and he's kind of just milling about, watching the people, watch the community. Breathe, live. Do its thing. And just kind of watch them
it's
living their
in
life.
that moment, like because like you've traveled, James has traveled with you for a bit of time, and you're from an area that has seen destruction and death throughout its kind of existence. And as you look over this town, you see people just going about their day as if this is just normal. And there's an element of you kind of in the back of your mind, you're kind of going, this is a bit of disbelief because you know that there's this great evil not too far from here, but these people are living their lives in the shadow of that great evil, but they're still living. And it's weird. There's kind of a strange hope about the town. And the word of your existence now has spread. In the time you've been here, like there has been word has spread out. And as you step out into this area and James is finding a spot to have his little concert, you do get some looks and you do see hope on the faces of the people that are around you. And it's strange to see. I don't know if you're used to this at any point.
I
Being a member of
feel
the circle,
it's-
like so.
Well, it's different because there's, as you say, it's lots of things I've kind of similar to Crater, where he grew up, but even the feeling of on the horizon, you can see the the representation of the Jewel Queen, this great monstrosity, and even seeing the big dome in the distance, where him and everyone else in Crater would look, and you could always see Parliament in the sky. The city who, during one malfunction, its fall created Crater, this slum that they live in. That they're all of the detritus and the runoffs that they're just there, they're ignored. Where he grew up in maybe other parts of Crater, he has seen it, small glimmers of hope. People struggle through all that, against that. It seems hopeless, but there are plenty of times, I think, where Dog did feel it was hopeless. I feel a lot of the people in the circle and where he was from, they kind of had given up, and this is like an echo of Crater, but maybe what it could be. People living in the ruins, but picking up the rubble and making something of it, literally making something out of the bones of the world. And he's just quietly watching them all, and maybe a little bit of the hope that he's come to sort of find recently with this lot is swelling a bit, you know, growing.
Yeah, and
The
like
terrible words to describe it.
the town itself is like it's as the day creeps on, it is starting to get like in the mid-afternoon at this point, and while you don't expect to see any sun in the sky, there is light, and you see the shade of the sky changing color from that deep tealish color to a kind of a strange puce, and there is kind of like evening is creeping in. Ramble. As yourself and Lanafir and Paradox and the rest of them are there, what are you doing in this moment?
So as James is headed out, Ramble will look over towards Lanafir and. So at what point did you first see my life?
Oh, well, I saw a bit of a difficult question. I didn't see just one thing. I saw many. I saw what could have been. I saw what didn't happen. I saw what will happen. It's a bit of a soup. It's just a soup. But to answer your question, you were young, very young, and I think you had just come back from somewhere in the forest, the jungles, and your parents were there. There was a lot of trepidation, uncertainty. Your fur had just become red, and I think your people were quite uncertain of what to make of you at that point in time.
So you saw right back to the beginning. I see. I never quite knew who that voice was. I heard something, and I always presumed it's Maharavira's words, but maybe we knew each other earlier than I'd always thought. I don't know what their kind of physical contact thing is, but he'll either like hold palm to palm or go forehead to forehead or something with you for just a moment. And just, I'm glad you're here with me, these things. And then he will settle down, he will go into prayer.
Um, and the prayer comes to you easy, the meditation state and the kind of the calmness. Are you inside or are you outside, Ramble? Are you in this forest?
He will find somewhere like a balcony or something. So
Hmm.
he wants to be fairly high up in wherever he's doing,
Well,
but not
the
too
ba
far away from this.
the balcony that you were out on where Shen brought you and gave you the tea, it does have an area there that is like comfortable, and it actually is looking out over the plains of kind of this realm that you now find yourself in.
Yeah.
And even though it's not your nature, it's still nature. And you find it that it's a world that is there to explore, and you just stretch out your mind into it.
I'm just
And
interested to see if Mahavira can hear me where I am, or
calmness finds you quickly, and you take it that there is something here. And you meditate on whatever you wish to meditate on.
I do, and I'm just ready there for whenever we head on out.
James.
If we're still here when it gets to nighttime, if we have the map up there, where James is from is southeast of the Dreamsphere.
Yeah.
And he acquired his sort of magical bardic powers from standing in a spot where the moonlight would reflect off the Dreamsphere onto a specific stone, just northwest of his hometown. So I would like to use my levitation to levitate as high as I can. And can I see through the Dreamsphere?
I'm pretty sure.
It is pretty solid, but James
He just
now
wants to
being
see if it's still doing that, and if there's.
I tell you
this-
what, right?
yeah.
So since you're level 10, you're pretty powerful. You have arcane abilities available to you. You have experiences available to you. I will allow you to use whatever experience you want and any magic abilities you have to roll a perceive roll.
Okay, well, I'm going to use broader perception for that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to be gained from this. It's just for him a moment, a very rare moment of introspection, for James, because he's all about the here and now and the I don't know. It's always been about staying relevant and in other people's eyes, and staying popular. But so he will levitate up to the top, and when the moon hits that right point, and the moonlight just kind of shines on that point at the edge of the cliff where he once stood, where another traveling bard once stood, and was just annihilated by it. Everything except for his loot was left there, and that's now James's loot. He'll kind of levitate up, and he'll use his broader perception to see if he can see through and just see the point. Is that still there? Is the moon still shining on that point? Or he doesn't expect to see anyone there.
Yeah.
The way he was. So I guess I'll go perceive. I'll use broader perception +2. So it's a 2d12 +4. Coming at you. He never expected to be in it.
Oof. It's a 22.
Sorry,
I hope.
sorry. That's not.
It's not you. Sorry, no,
I'm
that's
sorry.
Carrie. That's Carrie.
One
That's right,
second.
sorry.
2d12 +4.
Speaking
You
of
want to
17
add-
with hope.
Can I add a prayer die and he gets another 4 to that?
Yeah.
21 with hope.
21 with hope. It is a clear night in the Somnium, as you haven't started your concert just yet. You wanted to clear your mind, and you cast levitate. You start to float upwards, and you go pretty high. You can see the landscape stretched out before you. You see the dusk fields off in the distance, and you can see the shimmering of the fire elementals as they trail their way across. And beyond that, you see the calcified fields, and in the distance, you see the large puppet creature of the Jewel Queen. You then turn your gaze to what you believe to be southeast,
Devil's Fork.
towards Devil's Fork, and you attune yourself, and you kind of focus. The Dreamsphere, as you notice the sky, you don't see the edge of it. Even here, it's like it's a magical illusion. But as you focus with that roll, it's 20. What was it again? 21.
21. I do have a boon.
Okay. You can
Let us add a d4.
add a D4. Yeah.
Happy to spend that. 22.
22. You kind of try to focus, and you're absentmindedly strumming your guitar, and the energies kind of pulsate off it, and you can swear as you look out, you can just see the outline of the fork as the light shimmers off it, and the reflection of your lute as it glints in that red metallic sheen as it catches the night light of whatever's in the sphere, as the energies of the sphere reflect off it and emanate out. And just for that split second, you are the reflection that emanates back onto the fork. You are the light that the moon catches. Just for that split second. You can't see if anyone's there. You can't tell if there's somebody looking back. But you feel that connection. You can feel that there's something. And as you slowly start to turn and levitate back down, and your feet touch down onto the ground, you get a sense that you saw something. And you can do with that what you will.
Yeah, he kind of views things very literally. So he's just gonna go, that was fucking cool. He's a bit dense.
Paradox, what are you doing in this moment, in this time that you have before?
Not a huge amount. Like Paradox is kind of sat there, kind of contemplating purpose. I mean, he's just been told essentially he's just a fucking quick revive for some evil entity. And that's all he was built for. So I suppose he sat there and he's sort of trying to dig through his kind of memories to tap into what was before he woke up with and kind of gained consciousness, back to when he was first built. For any information that might help.
Give me a sense roll. Give me a sense roll on yourself. You're having a moment of self-reflection and contemplation and looking through your past. And you've got a bit more to yourself. You've got more energies, you've got more abilities, you've got more powers. So
could I add an experience? So let me see. Ancient construct.
Yes, go ahead. Go right ahead.
Yep. So that is 16, 18 with hope.
18 with hope. You're mulling over what Shen said to you, and there's this. It doesn't sit well with you within your center. That's all you are, because you look back on your past. You look back on what you've done. That may be what you're initially created for, by this evil creature that was made through Thane. But that is not what makes you what you are. Yeah. You somehow made it out of the Dreamsphere at one point, and you went on to be a guardian of the cavalcade. You grew and matured as an entity. You found family. You found a purpose. You look at your long history of protection, your long history of guidance, your long history of being there when the world was protected, and your part in it. And you know that in the back of your mind, while you may have been created for one thing, that is not what defined you. Your actions of protection and willingness to seek out justice for others is what has defined you to this point, and will continue to define you, and will continue to guide you as you shrug off the idea of just being something as a backup for somebody else, something that needs to be stricken from this world in order to make it a better place.
Yeah.
You sit there in that quiet reflection, and you hear the servos in your mind, and you hear the kind of the movings of your mechanisms, and you know that you're not just cogs and pipes and energy crystals. You are a living entity that makes a difference, and you'll be damned if anyone will tell you otherwise.
Okay, so yeah, he kind of sits there, and with that moment of realization, kind of when Paradox closes his eyes, he doesn't actually have eyes to shut, so obviously the light just dims. So if anyone else is in the room, as he has that realization, they just flare back up with it's still that orangish glow, but there's just something slightly different about it, something brighter. There's less hatred, kind of, or not hatred, but darkness in it there. And he kind of just sits up and lays out his weapons in front of him. Obviously, he's going to be using whatever they bring in, but he will still spend the time, kind of as he would anyways, refletching arrows, make any damage with damage feathering, repairing that. His actual hunting bow, he pulls out the oils he has for kind of just treats that just as he would before he would normally leave the cavalcade to go on one of his hunts, because he'd spend usually weeks away, which was the case when they were attacked, tracking down things that have gotten in the way or interfered with their business, things that have made attacks on the cavalcade, like wild beasts and stuff, and that'd be kind of what he would be there for, and that's what he missed it. So he's gonna, as if he's prepping to go off on one of these long hunts. He's almost preparing not to come back from this fight.
Okay. Lanafir, you are standing in the room with the pools, and you feel that connection from each of them, and it's new. and it's interesting, and it's scary at the same time. What are you doing?
Been a very exciting day. Emotionally, physically, sensory, just this, she's currently still coming down from like this sensory overload of being her mind being stretched by the weaves of the arcane, and she was shunted into the flow of time, and it's just her body feels so heavy after experiencing that. To be put back into a physical form is so like it's a bit clunky at the moment. It's a bit rigid. There's a bit of an exhaustion there, but that excitement doesn't leave. And she's kind of studying the pools, and she's kind of dissecting the conversations that they've had with Master Shen, and there's something about all of this with the matron Thane and Paradox's condition, the cord that he has, and the fact that they've now learned that there's another Mistress Bloodstone, the other wizard involved in this. I think she wants to learn more about these two individuals specifically. There might be something interesting to glean there, especially if they're going to be facing off against a sort of grotesque amalgamation of these two very powerful wizards, which is a terrifying thought, because wizards that are high off of power, having just one is terrifying enough. Now you put both of them together? So I think she's going to ask around to see if they don't have like a library, or perhaps someone is willing to talk to her about what they know about the matron Thane and Bloodstone. She wants to learn more about that history, kind of how they interacted in life.
Okay. As you go looking for an attendant, Master Shen appears, and you can ask him the question if you wish. And he readily, it's like, well, my dear, we have the Library of Time. And he gestures to the pools around you. And as he gestures and waves his staff, the pools start to shimmer and glimmer and sparkle, and the star fields shift, and they just ripple with energy. And as the last pool ripples and that chronomatic magic fills the space, you feel it in the back of your mind, and your chitin starts to flutter. And out in the distance, you hear the opening chord as James strums the lute, and his concert begins. Ramble, you feel it as well, even in your meditation. And Paradox, as you're sharpening your blades, you hear the noise of James's lute ring through the air of the town. Dog, you stand there, watching the night sky now rippling through a dark, deep purple as weird clusters of what look like stars shimmer and ripple across the dome of the Dreamsphere. And off in the distance, echoing into this riff on the lute, that echoing scream of the Jewel Queen running through the sky as if in response to James's music. As you stand on the precipice of the final battle against the Jewel Queen, waiting to see what comes next. And that's where we're going to leave this week's episode.
Awesome.
Horizon Hollow's Daggerheart game.
Man!
Thank you so much. Oh, what an awesome game.
This
Thanks,
is where
Ryan.
Lanafir will
Right.
just live here now forever and never gone.
Thank you to the players. Thank you to the players. Thank you to our Technomancer for keeping us honest and going all the way through this entire game. Thank you so much. Thank you to Mother of God, my brain, Witchbolt for the music.
Yes.
And
Hell
Rep,
yeah.
I'm gonna hand it back over to you. That's all my thanks done. Sign us off.
Thanks to you.
That's most of my thanks done there.
Yeah.
I extend a thanks to our Master of Fear, Wayne. Where can people find you?
You can find me on the Irish Pubcast podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find me on the Sorcery Shenanigans YouTube channel, where I run our D&D game. We'll be returning to our stream very soon. We're recording our next episode next week, so we'll be back to that, returning to that realm.
I think we should have the three of you. There's three of you?
There's three of us, yeah.
I think we should have the three of you over in the game over here.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
We'd be up for that.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, it'd be so cool. Yeah, definitely up for that. But and you can also find my comic book work over on roguecomics.ireland.com as well. So that's everywhere you can find me.
All the places you can find this wonderful man. We are going to love you and leave you at this point because it is very late for us here over in the UK area. Thank you to all the groups who raided into us. Thank you for trusting us with your streamers.
Thank you.
We did them proud. We hope you can come back in 2 weeks as we take on the Jeweled Queen. We hope you can come back in 2 days, and we'll see if Kara can carry on
Murderizing my party.
Yes, terrorizing.
Whoa.
us,
Carry-
absolutely.
Carry on carrying.
Yeah, I do my best.
But otherwise, we love you very much. Do take care of yourselves out there, and we shall see you soon. Bye for now.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys.